music. All about ready to do that. And, we've got June 18th in here. I mean, well,
19th, 18th, all of them
18th,
show.
18th, 19th,
All of them show.
all in there, the 8th. And I think Michael Harris has a birthday in here, doesn't he? Does he have a birthday in
Today
June?
is tomorrow.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Tomorrow?
It's one of the two days. I think it's June 2nd.
Yeah. We got a lot of June people in here.
June
There's a lot
folks.
going on. Stevens, you? You're
I'm not June.
You're not June. Okay.
I'm an August guy myself.
For
So
you, an August guy.
I'm an August baby.
I'm August, baby.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
we got the August guys in here.
Leo's in the house.
The August crew in here. How about you got that, huh? Yeah, the August
Augustus.
crew.
Augustus. We're there with you.
Oh,
Dad.
yes indeed, man. I'm telling you, it is great because I got some great interviews coming up this month with Joe McEwen. We're going to discuss Carl. We're going to discuss Carl Davis, who's a producer for, believe it or not, Curtis Mayfield. Curtis had his
Curtin.
producers too. So we're gonna talk about Curtis Mayfield. We're going to talk about Tyrone Davis. We're going to talk about Swamp Dogg. We got a whole list of people we're going to talk about in their music.
Music month.
We're going to talk about the staples as well. So pay attention, guys. We got Joe McEwen coming on. He is a producer. We used to work together at Columbia Records during the time. And he's got just great stories about Kenneth Gamble, Leon Huff, and countless other producers. And also, let me say good morning to my guy, Kipper Jones. Kip, former music director for the Natalie Cole television show, former co-founder of the group called Tease. Do you remember Firestarter?
I remember that.
Tease, yeah. He's going to join us. And an interesting side note about our guy, Kipper. Kipper went back to school. He is a 60-some-year-old college a junior now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. After all of that, he spent his life in music, playing music, and hits on Brandy, and there's another one. He's had some real success in the music industry, and he's doing one of the things I love most. He's keeping his mind active. He is actually going back to Berkeley College in Boston and going back to school to get his degree.
It's different going to school now than it was back in the day, and I hate saying back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
Because people think the 90s were back in the day.
Right. Yes, indeed.
So I'm talking early 70s when you
talking
actually had to
70s.
go to class.
Yes, yeah.
Nowadays,
yeah.
you can line up on the internet, Zoom, Team, or whatever it is,
Yes.
and half your classes, you never have to set foot in the classroom.
But here's something I think you'll find interesting, and I did think about you when he mentioned this. You know what they're teaching? AI entrepreneurship. And he's fascinated by that. Kip is fascinated by that.
I
And he
wanted to
says
do
he's got
some
a
classes in
professor.
that.
He's got a professor in there who is just full into AI. And did you meet Matt Damon? I'm sorry, not Matt Damon. Damon Milton. When I had him over, he's my guy with the AI music that I play for some of the gospel artists. He has a label called International Destination, and that music is very good, and people are taking it seriously. And we had some conversations. You will recall these, I suspect, that you, Lydia, myself, and the audience members. We talked about AI and its place in the world.
Right.
And Friday we talked about some of the looming downsides that are apparent now. But much of the promise of AI looms large as well. It can do some wonderful things, and we're going to have Damon on this week. We're going to have Damon Milton on. He is from the Houston area. He has an AI label.
Wow.
Which is to say all of his artists are AI created. He has their avatars, and we're going to sit with him and talk about that. We're going to play the music. I got to check with Stevens on that to see about the licensing. No, but I told him, I said, it's like if I'm interviewing a guy who has made the music, the guy who has created the music, I told him yesterday. I said, like, I want to find out about this licensing thing because I don't want to put this stuff on. I prefer it when the audience can hear the music about which we're speaking. It gives it volume. It gives it it revives
pulls them into the
people's
conversation.
memories. Right?
Pulls them into the conversation.
Pulls them into the conversation.
That's what I like about music, man. Television, you're pretty much locked into one room.
Yes.
You can play music throughout the house
go
and
anywhere.
walk
That was the
around.
appeal
That's serious appeal. That's the appeal of radio.
That's the appeal of radio.
Absolutely.
That's why they say people listen. It used to be. This is how far back it goes. Back when people listened to radio 20 minutes at a clip.
Yeah.
That was about the average listening time. But now these younger people come along. If you can get 10 good minutes out of that, you're doing something, aren't you?
You are. You really are.
You can get the attention span for 10 minutes. You see, this is what happens with the younger generation too. They're very savvy. So Stevens is speaking when needed. Stevens knows he has a brand to protect. He's not going to come in here and give me all of this play for free. Next thing you know, I'll be booking him. I'll be booking this guy. I'll call Jaron. Jaron will go into an entirely new business. He'll fill a board in there for the young acts who need booking. One day we'll hear the Walls Booking Agency, and I'll have to call. I'll have to call Jaron
get permission
to get Stevens on here. But Stevens is a treasure, I got to tell you. And I was listening to his show last Wednesday. What's it called properly now?
I really haven't settled on a name. I put the title "Talking Politics with Friends" because that's what I was doing.
Yes,
and that's what I'm.
I like that.
Just
it's honest.
Yeah, that's really all what we're doing.
So that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
So,
for now,
me, I'm a bit pretentious. You see any magazines around here? You see any printing presses around here? Yeah, come on with it. It just ain't. It's like listen. I like that, man. It's straightforward. It's unassuming, and when you listen, it lives up to its billing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's inviting too.
It was a great first episode.
It certainly was.
So I have people who reached out who want to get on. So it's gonna be, Maria and Biko are like my starting co-hosts.
Yes.
But, with scheduling and everything, we want to make sure we keep the flexibility and we have one different guest come in, and then we'll just kind of take it from there and see how it grows.
Well, I tell you, it was off. It was off the charts. It was good. I mean, it was really good.
Thank you.
I hung in there with you till the end, because like 8 o'clock is past my bedtime. But I mean, what the hell? I go all out for Steve.
8 o'clock is a new 12:30.
He does as much for us over here. That's right. 8 o'clock is the new 12:30. No doubt about it. Hey, we thank you for being here with us, ladies and gentlemen. And the other thing is, June is Men's Health Month.
Men's Health.
Yeah, so we got Dr. Gannam coming back. We're going to talk about some of the things that men can do for their health. Believe it or not, farming. We've got a conversation coming on about farming. We got the guests, Miss Ratcliffe, Kimberly Ratcliffe, and her father.
Yeah, there's a community farm coming to Third Ward.
Yes.
I think it's Saturday. I'm not sure. I have to get the dates on that.
Okay.
But I'll pass that on to you.
And do you know that's one of those things that are good for one of those things that is good for your health?
Absolutely.
The benefits of farming. A little. Now you don't have to go and buy a horse.
And then there's nutrients from the land and all that.
In there, all of those things.
All those things are good for you.
And there's new evidence that points to rewiring the circuits in the brain. It's establishing new loops, and this is not highly technical language, so you gotta understand.
I liken it back to the movie Avatar, where everything comes from the ground. They have this big tree that is everywhere and all that, and even Star Wars. The Force. All that's a part of it, and if you get back into it, it gets back into you. But that's just me.
No, it's cool.
People see that as hokum.
I'm loving more of these conversations. This I'm going to return to Monday night and talk, or Wednesday night talking politics with friends. They've got a space there that they can occupy, and it's engaging in the contemporary community and those politicos who've got some miles on them who want to hear good, engaging conversation about it. And it's not so much armchair celebrity attacks. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you can choose any topic that is political, and instead of a political discussion about policy, you wind up talking about something somebody did 10 years ago that ticked somebody else off, and all of those things, right? What I liked was the call to action. They talk about mutual aid on this show, and here's why this is relevant. They talked about mutual aid, and Dr. Gray said, is he Dr. Gray yet? Or he is a candidate for his PhD.
No, he's Dr. Pico Mandela Gray.
Okay.
He got it like 8 years ago now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they won't be coming to take that back. So I can save me to call him Dr.
Peeps,
Gray.
Politics, and Passion. Is that it?
What?
Peeps, Politics, and Passion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what Dr. Wall just posted.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah,
we'll keep up with it.
He's throwing out some suggestions, some new names. All right.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know. Yeah, and you have to go ahead and let him get it out.
That's cool.
Avoid him until he's run off let him run out all of the things. But he's come up with some goodies. He's come up with some goodies before.
Listen, I'm always going to be open to suggestions, because you never know what kind of gem just drops on your lap. So I'm never
it's true.
Reject that.
It's true.
Yeah,
That's true. But here was one. Although we've heard the term mutual aid before, the way that it was couched was this. I loved it when he said, Professor said, Dr. Gray said, look, the thing is, if they were talking about evacuating the city. See, these are real conversations, right? And he was saying, when you're helping someone, let's be sure everybody's good. Not just that you're good. And Stevens and Miss Yvonne, was that her name?
Yeah, Maria Yvonne.
Maria Yvonne were saying, when you lift, you make the lift easier for everybody. The more people who put their shoulder to the wheel, then the less heavy the push, you know? And that is it. So that signals that it is a solution-oriented program. I like that, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I really like that.
And I'm looking forward to having some time with y'all in the morning as well. But
sure.
I am teaching the summer class for this month.
Yeah.
So I will be, heading out.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to us having more of these conversations, connecting, what we talk about in the show with what you're talking in the morning, because it is this act alone is a cross-generational conversation that's needed. So
man, and I'm looking forward to
everybody.
And I'm also looking forward to, I was born up under modest circumstances. I don't mind hand-me-downs. After you do your shows at night, I'm looking for those occasional mornings I can play them back.
We'll make sure we give you plain material to work with.
My man. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's why I don't want people to miss it. They shouldn't. And so I'll be sure that people hear this show. We're excited about it over here. All right. Of course, now you got to remember, I know some of you are going to say, I know what you're going to say. Well, Paris, you almost ate it now. Getting excited for you is dangerous, but but I've
You're not passing that on, are
you? Yeah, but listen, it is good to be here with you, Sherman.
Absolutely, Music Month. This is the one thing I love, man, more than anything else is music.
Wow, and I opened my feed. My wife sent me something on Patti LaBelle.
Patty.
Being at Shape Community Center.
Patty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And I found out, like I told you, I found out I'm not on the A-list. They didn't call me and tell me. They called a lot of people, but they didn't call Sharon. But that's all right. That wasn't an oversight. I'm going to take it out on him later today. Baba Deloitte got it coming, so if y'all listening to it, let him know.
Yeah.
But, no, it was great, man. I've run across some just fantastic music people in the last couple of weeks. You know, and the time I spent in Tennessee.
Yeah. How was that? Did you get the opportunity to talk with guys, or you just?
You know how that goes.
I know.
It's a photo op. It's like cheese. Okay, next. Cheese. Okay, next. I mean, it was not a sit down dinner.
Yes.
So it's different, but it's okay. I still enjoy just being in the presence. And I was looking forward to after I found out about it, stopping by and talking with Patti LaBelle. But I had other things. I had a doctor's appointment and of course work and everything else that came up on that day. In the middle of the day, 11 o'clock on a Thursday is not optimum time for me.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I'm in the same place. Yeah. But Sherman, I'm excited to kick off June 1st with a music guy.
Oh.
Which is you in this case.
Oh, man, I appreciate you saying that.
It's true, man. And so we got some of you who may want to talk some music. This is Juneteenth Music Month.
You got the music man, Paris Eley here. So you want to talk about music? This is the time to do it. This is the time to do it.
Yeah, man. It is an interesting time, and of course we got Mr. Music. We got the original DS Don Sam. I'm going to tell you guys to be sure to listen. Just like what Ralph is to sports, Don is to music, and all of them to the maximum power. All of them to the maximum power.
I think I told you I grew up in Austin with Tony Vaughn. It was 2-3 hours a day on the weekday. He came in on Saturdays too, a little longer. But when I came down here, I refused to turn the music off. I just refused. I had my little transistor radio. Remember those? The little bitty transistor radio with the, you pull up the antenna and the batteries. I refused to turn it off because I thought I wouldn't be able to get the station the next day. I wouldn't find it.
Yes.
And my mom was like, turn that off. Turn it off. Okay, I turned it down real low.
Judon Boney used to work at the radio station
in Austin. The KUHT.
Yeah, and we hired him over here at KCOH.
What is it? KUT something. It was a UT station.
Yeah, he came over as a college student.
Yeah, he was a nighttime guy.
And we hired him. First, he started off as the weekend guy down here for the summer. He was still in school. He had just gotten through, and we had him on and radio. He was really taken by radio. Yeah. And he moved on since then. Moved around.
Yeah, I talked with him recently. Just to kind of get into conversation with him. We just had a little brief conversation. Sure. Good to see him.
That's good. That's good. You send him the love and appreciation.
Absolutely.
From all of us.
And there was Ernest McMillan who was big in that time, and I know Judon knows him, and Baba DeLloyd and everybody else who was in the movement back in the 70s knows Ernest McMillan, and he passed away about a month ago, and I believe they're having a big ceremony here in Houston for him.
Yes,
because his ceremony was in Dallas.
Yeah, I want to thank Sister Mama Sonia for sending out the information about Patty's arrival, and from what I could see on the video,
you on the A list. I'm on the C list now. I don't know what the deal is, so I'm gonna have to get in with you. I can't be Paris Eley, but just sneak in and tell me. I know you couldn't.
I did get a call. I just was pleased to know that she was there.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
She's good people.
Yes, and she was happy. They got a 45-minute video of her online and the Shape Center Facebook page. Yes. And she was just happy. She took pictures with everybody who wanted to. She hugged people. Yeah. It was like she just was one of the people who just showed up. Yeah. It wasn't a celebrity type thing.
She just was great. Look, she would come through when she was on CBS, when she was on Philly International. Actually, we were distributing it. For a while, she was on Epic itself, and then later she went to Philly International. She would go, when we sent her out on the road, she would actually cook for the promotion staff and have people come over to the hotel. She did it in Atlanta with our guy who was there at the time, Jimmy Starks, and his local people. for the people in the record company, she would cook, and the guys would call over the disc jockeys.
Yeah, she did
New
Year's
cook.
thing.
Now that's for real.
Oh yeah, Patty LaBelle pies were in Walmart. And, you know, she did a New Year's thing where she cooked dinner for New Year's Eve dinner for people live.
She likes doing that.
So that was and you could tell she liked doing it. She was into it. She was really into it. You know when somebody when you're cooking and you say don't touch that pot, you cook.
Right.
You can cook.
We took a trip over to Philadelphia from New York to get her approval on an album cover, and we talked about it, and we got to her house, and we got there around 4 or 5 in the evening, I think. We took a train over, and it's because we were trying to get back to Manhattan, we just wanted to go in and get her approval. But she went in, and then we fell into conversation, and her husband Armstead was there, and she said, "Oh no, I got to cook for you guys." And I had heard about Patty's cooking, but Tony Martell, who was the guy who was with me, and I decided it better to go back. Tony was the lead on the project, right? And we decided to go back to New York. But that was one of the things I never had her cooking, and she loved doing it for guys. So when you have an artist on the road, during those days, radio was the first line of contact between the performer and the buyer, the listener, the buyer, right? And so you wanted to get the disc jockeys to come out and meet this person. Well, Patty had 2 things going for her. She was already a star. And she was with the same company. She was with Epic Records because remember LaBelle had done Lady Marmalade over there. And besides that,
Patty was Stacey Dash.
That's right. that Sarah Dash, Sarah Dash and Nona
No,
Hendricks.
I said Stacey. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't, Sarah Dash. Don't do that.
Yeah. But these people would come out. You had to keep it really undercover to get that done because fans would show up and they'd wind up at the hotel. But Patty would come in, and it helped. Needless to say, it helped our airplay a lot. It helped our airplay a lot. Yes, indeed. So we're going to talk about some of these things during Juneteenth, and I'm telling people right now, this is. Because I know how it may sound, and quite frankly, if you got a problem with it, it's going to be on you. But I got to say, I am in some of these stories, so you will hear me refer to myself, but not for clout on my part, because I want you to get the feel. I want you to get the feel of what it's like when these things happen. And so we'll be telling you more of these stories about people. And if I'm not there, that's fine. I'm not choosing stories based on that. I'm choosing stories based on who the people happen to talk about. And some of them will be there. That will be their stories, and I get off stage on that. But when we talk about good moments, I do like sharing good moments with people because I'm not interested in tearing other people's reputations and names down. So when I get the opportunity to talk about a personal interaction I've had with an artist that is consistent with who they present themselves, with the way they present themselves, I take advantage of that to verify those stories. Not to say, oh, you don't know, they're really behind the scenes. I ain't interested in that kind of conversation.
Well, I didn't go out to meet a whole lot of famous people.
Yes.
It just had the people I've met, I've come across, and I've really enjoyed meeting them and talking with them. People like Archie Bell.
Yes,
Archie Bell's an incredible person, to sit down and talk with. I met, I can see clearly now.
Johnny Nash.
I met him quite a while ago. Actually, brushed with Isaac Hayes when he first came down here. He gave the Black Student Union, newly found Black Student Union at the University of Houston, because he was the first African American artists to play Hall Fines Pavilion. And he gave the Black Student Union a $100 check. That was incredible back in 1970. And we probably should have kept the check and framed the check. It probably been worth more than $100 we got out of it. But
absolutely. And some of these people, some of our callers, have their own stories about interactions with these people. Now, I'm not interested in hearing from somebody who you disliked and they didn't give you an autograph. And I understand there are some people with unpleasant personalities. However, I'm not interested in going through this whole month trying to find out a lousy story about somebody.
Uplifting, positive stories.
I mean, because and whatever else these people do, that will be on them. If there's
on you.
And if there's an arrest or something that we all know about, well, it doesn't mean that person doesn't have lighter and humorous moments, and that's a good thing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to June for real. Well, we're here now. Well, we were looking forward.
There's the one is here.
It's here. It's here, everybody. So 713-668-1230 is our number. I am pleased to start this off with Sherman this week. You guys just have no idea, and I'm trying to give you some idea how excited I am. Sherman knows music. Let me tell you guys.
Sherman has heard a lot of music. Put it like that.
Yes, Sherman has heard a lot of music, and he knows what he likes.
I tend not to forget music.
and you've done a lot of gigs.
I've done a lot of gigs. And I tell people all the time, I don't like doing clubs for one reason. You got to play the same music over and over and over again. I hate that. There's too much music in the world.
Yes.
There's way too much.
Isn't
I can't tell you how many. They want to hear the same thing. They want to hear the same thing. So,
Look, you're here and the phones. Would you please?
I will do, sir. Will do.
You sign over here. Meanwhile, I'll tell the people something else about men's health. We got Dirk Jabril we're gonna talk with Dirk Jabril because we are going back to Miss Ratcliffe, and Miss Kimberly Ratcliffe, and her father was on. And you may recall we had a little difficulty with the internet, and we are making some adjustments on that. We found out what it is. Our faithful guys have shown us the way, and so we're going to do that. But I did not want that interview to go on without having all the things operating that need to be operating, ladies and gentlemen, because it's such an uplifting story, and there are elements to it. So this month we're going to talk about men's health, as I said, and one of the things we're going to do is talk about those things which can help us relax in a very, here's an old word for you, uptight world. Okay. What can de-stress us? And turns out that farming, I keep calling it farming. I mean gardening. That's the word I'm looking for.
Farming,
gardening. On the individual level, gardening is one of those things. Now look, we're all aging together, my friends. I know you look at me and say, "Wait a minute, was that the guy I grew up with back then? He had a lot more hair."
My high school reunion showed me that I went to school with all these old people. How did that happen?
Yes.
And they probably saying the same thing about you.
Oh, absolutely. You understand? So I do everything I can to soften the blow for you.
You still think you're 30.
Look, I do everything to soften the blow. So I want us to talk about things. Those of us who come from a certain era, yes, we age together. It is true. We age together. And so we get the opportunity to talk about it from our particular health outcomes that we share that are different than the general population. We talk about diabetes, high blood pressure. Of course, right now, it's generally true that the country itself has a sweep of diabetes. Diabetes is just now in the general society at alarming rates. People trying to get. There are certain maladies and afflictions we have. It's about aging in America, and then there's a subset, aging while black.
Yeah, absolutely.
The leukemia and the other sickle cell, lupus. I think. Yeah. The things that we want to talk about. So you will be hearing more conversations about the things that you can do to get through your day while you work on eliminating or alleviating the pain that you do have and avoiding them in the first place. So we're gonna be having those conversations regularly here too, and then we're gonna talk about finances. And
finance is a major part of all of that.
Yes, indeed.
When we talk about music, when we talk about health.
Finances.
Let me throw this in about health. Go to your doctor. Set yourself up a regular schedule. Get your checkups. Don't think that you Superman now and there ain't nothing wrong with you. Go to your doctor. Set your health, wellness, or however you want to say it. But go to your doctor.
Yes,
black
indeed.
men think that we know everything and everything is going to be all right, but go to your doctor.
All right. We got a full bank with Sherman Smith this morning. Hello to you, Lydia Flanagan. How are you out there, ladies and gentlemen? All right. My guy, Sherman, you let her rip. Yes, sir.
We're going to say good morning. You're on the air.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
Hey,
morning,
Don, how are you, sir?
Sir, and I heard somebody say they need a hearing aid.
Don, don't start. Don't start. Oh, what did you say?
Or the phone that I'm speaking on, or the microphone that you all are using, we can thank a brother by the name of Dr. James West.
Yeah, absolutely.
In collaboration with George Sessler, who invented the electronet microphone, and it also serviced phones and hearing aids. It sold over 2 billion. This was invented in 1962. So the reason we hear music is because of the microphone. Because when you hear the term "drop the mic," it was a Dr. James West, a George Sessler mic. They sold over 2 billion. So we think about when we say Black Music Month, we think more of the performers. We think little more about the musicians. But let's think about the instrument, the banjo, for instance, and jazz, and blues, jazz.
Don't leave the drums out now.
Yeah, the percussions. You talk about the woodwinds. You talk about the strings and brass. But we very seldom think about the manufacturing of those instruments, the design. We think about the patents. Think about the patents. Dr. James West have, I don't know how many patents. And some say 70, some say 270 patents. Okay? Those are protected by the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And what I'm saying is, when we talk about society, the music is, for this society, the part of the tripod. You talk about music, you talk about sports, and you talk about business and all of its apparatus. Even though music and sports is encapsulated by business, they're separate components. They lend itself. So in other words, when the doctor get off of having a tough day of surgeries, he want to have some relaxing music on to calm him and de-stress him or her. And so the music apparatus lends itself to our society and the upliftment of people. As you heard said earlier, Paris, how we should uplift all, not just certain. And music does that. Jazz did that. Jazz was one of the great inventions and innovations in world history. If you go back during the great industrial revolution, the golden age, when you talk about black people who just came out of bondage, legal bondage that is, had 50,000 patents. Anywhere from Elijah McCoy to Granville T. Woods. The person that invented dry cleaning was a brother named Thomas Jennings, not George Jefferson, Thomas Jennings in New York City. Okay? In 1921. And then think about dry cleaning. And the brother who we should think about this information, the brother we should really think about for this information is a brother named Henry Edwin Baker out of Columbia, Mississippi. He was the third black person to get, you had to get congressional accommodations to get into the military academies, and he was in the Navy. He's the third black person to be congressionally approved for the Naval Academy in 1874. I say 1874, not 1974. And this brother, they sent him through a hard time. He did 3 years. He did his final year. He left the Naval Academy, and he went and he finished up in Washington, D.C., got his law degree from Howard University, and he became the patent examiner at the United States Patent Office at the time. It wasn't trademarked yet. So Henry Baker looked at the census because inventions was non-racial. You couldn't tell the persons who invented it based on, you wouldn't find racial components to that. It was non-racial. So he had to compare the census to those people and do a lot of legwork and hard work to find out who actually invented, because they're black people and didn't do nothing. We just here. You know, slavery was good to us, you know, but 50 from Industrial Revolution, from 1870, which the U.S. Patent Office was founded by Ulysses S. Grant, a Republican president who was a hero in the Civil War, and the 15th Amendment was also ratified in 1870. So when we talk about Black Music Month, it is more than a month. It is a historical time to set aside just a pause to not just celebrate the singers and the acapellas and the Bobby McFerrins and all of the Stevie Wonders, but think about all of the designs and the creative genius of designing these instruments and the lighting. We thank Lewis Latimer for the lighting, and we can thank all of those who have patents from everything from stages and from trains that carried many of our performers and bands, the Elijah McCoys and all of the great train inventions that the train industry and transportation industry benefited from, the Frederick McKinley Jones, who all the great inventions, the great minds, men and women. We can't forget about Madam C.J. Walker, who beautified women in the sense of their physical beauty and confidence with hair care products and health and beauty aids, and Sister Malone.
Don, what you're saying, what we're hearing from you is that black is 365 days of the year, and black music is incorporated in everything. And you are absolutely right, my brother, and we appreciate you bringing all these things
black
up.
Black is black is forever.
I'm going to say everlasting. You're good with it. Everlasting is good, okay?
Millennial. It is transcendent through the eons of life.
Absolutely, man.
Okay.
We got a full bank. So we appreciate that, man. We appreciate all that you're bringing forth.
Yeah, I will say this.
Thanks, Don.
During the transition, he did mention the engineers.
Right.
And if you ever doubt that, ladies and gentlemen, when you're listening to these broadcasts, it makes no difference whether you're on a digital format or if you are watching your television or listening to your radio. There are people who keep this equipment running. There are people who make it, when you hear us say glitch, that's our technical term for saying, hey, something is screwed up and I don't know what the dickens it is.
Right? What I've come to say,
people who've gone to school to do this, who've studied to
absolutely,
do it, and they do it very well. And big ups to you, Don, for shouting out.
Appreciate it. Well, I like to say it's live radio, folks.
Live radio, like
that's another way.
That's right. Kids, don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home.
Now they used to say don't try it at home. You go out. Now all you got to do is go to your nearest computer store.
Right.
And you can try it at home. Right?
Caller, you here?
Hey, good morning, Uncle P.
DJ, what's going on, man?
Oh man, and the Watcher.
The Watcher.
Yeah, that's what I call that brother there is the Watchman, the Watcher for our community. Sherman Smith.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, brother.
You know, brothers, the day I tell you, it was Music Month, and I just want to say I did not call for music today, but I'm gonna definitely talk about it this month, because we need to start opening ourselves up to new information concerning our musicians and our contributions to music, because we very rarely talk about bluegrass, but black people invented bluegrass. And we did country.
We're the reason for a lot of it. It's not necessarily we invented it. We're the reason for it. Well, they saw us doing one thing and went, wait a minute, we can do that, and they put the twang to it, like you said.
You got a banjo.
Yeah.
Banjo.
Well, hey, did they have the as what brother just mentioned about the banjo? They didn't have that over here at first. So somebody had to introduce it, right?
Right, yeah. I think the banjo
so we're going to get a little deeper into that.
I'm not certain about that, but I think that I recall.
Right. Because it comes from an instrument called the kalimba.
Oh, the kalimba. Yeah.
Oh, man. Don't bring that up. People tell me to this day, Sherman, you just walked around in college with a kalimba playing to get girls' attention. I refuse to accept that.
Way to go, my man.
And that brother was just with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
When you working,
way to go.
When you working girls and music into the conversation. Oh, we got a hell of a show planned for you this morning. And I say, girls, ladies, you know who you were back on the campus during Sherman's time.
Hey, I tell everybody, I'm still under witness protection. So whatever you say.
And Earth, Wind, and Fire. Wind, and Fire did use the kalimba in their music.
They did.
Absolutely. So, beautiful.
So this is what I call for today, brothers. In today's world, the atmosphere of truth is so predominant today that a lie cannot last for 30 seconds now in the atmosphere. If you choose to be deceived today, it is because of your own filthiness and love for disbelief. Yeah. I mean, these are troubled times. The sun is burning hotter than it's ever been before, and has amplified the lies. Lies now have amplified through radio, television, cell phone, desktop, and soon to be holographic images on computer. So now what they're trying to do now is come up with a way to bring up the liars of the past. But in holographic form.
Yes. Yeah.
But my dear brothers and sisters, lovers of God, I mean, hear you, brother, this morning, because there's two reoccurring themes that take place throughout the Word of God, whether you're reading the Bible or the Quran. That language is always tied within the narrative, parables, and the stories. And all of the language that is being reoccurring in the book is always talking about the form. It always uses the language of the form. And what is the importance of that? It's because it's showing us that the form and the former, and they are really, I would say, the hand of God. They're on earth. I mean, these brothers and sisters are tilling the land. They are responsible for civilizations to continue on because you need food, man. And to be disrespectful to the farm as America have been, she has a very grave disrespect for farmers and educators. They turn their back. They'll pay a man $100,000 to shoot a ball in a hoop, but we'll not give a farmer $100,000 to keep the nation going. Oh man.
Well, I will say this about that about your position on that. It is, people appreciate the farmers. Those of us who eat the food,
they have to.
We appreciate the farmers. However, the people who are into corporate agriculture are different than the people on the family farms. Now I think the figure is somewhere around, and this figure was so low when I heard it, I couldn't believe it, and I haven't double checked it. I think only maybe around 5% of the food market now is here in America is from family farms. Most of it is corporate.
Ain't
now.
that something?
Most of it is corporate.
So the meat is
yes,
definitely.
Yes. And we have to talk about that. And we are going to talk about that. It's another way into politics, ladies and gentlemen. Because we want to have these conversations, because these conversations will affect you and your children when you're sitting around the table. They will affect you. We know about the cost of diesel. We know about the cost of gas, regular gas, and I'm not dismissing that. But I'm saying people are making policies that affect our food, not only where it's grown, but how it's eaten and what they put into it, what they put in it. And DJ, I think I saw something from you last night about what we eat, the chemicals that are in our food. So we're looking forward to these conversations.
When you see that, when you relook at that, this is bioengineering at its finest. They're taking proteins now, but growing them in a tank, and they're soon to be released out to the public next year. So please, brothers and sisters,
read labels.
Continue to listen to KCOH in the morning, please, and because we're gonna have farmers coming to talk to us, man. People that is in that industry is gonna be talking direct to you. Please continue to tune in. And Uncle Point Pete, my last point is that I want to make sure that I let this be known too, that throughout the entire Bible, there's one name that's mentioned. Now, farmers, the language of farmers and farming is mentioned, but one more name is mentioned more than Abraham, more than Noah, more than Jesus, and that's Moses. I'm gonna let y'all feed on that because it's something to think about. But the language of farming is all throughout the book, and the last name that even ends up on the book and throughout the book is the name of Moses. Thank y'all here.
Before you go, man, you got to let me know now, where does Watcher thing come from?
The who?
The Watcher. You call me the Watcher.
The Watcher. Yeah.
What that got to do with me, man? What I do?
Because you are definitely keeping us in the pulse of where all the finances are traveling. Because
on the wall. Watcher on the wall.
Watcher on the wall.
Because that's the very main thing they have always robbed us of, and we need a watcher.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man. We appreciate your call. Just wanted to say before we go to the next caller too, man, I know this is not going to ever take a center stage, but I've always felt like, why we growing grass when we can't eat it? Why we paying X amount of money every month to have our grass cut and we can't do nothing with the trimmings? We can't put no food down. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's happening? How y'all doing this morning? Welcome back, Sherman. Welcome back, your illustrious producer there, the great Paris Eley.
The Paris Eley.
My guy. Scurry, my man, Scurry. Riding around with the Surrey.
Man, we get ready to do this Stone Cold picnic this morning, man.
Stone Cold picnic. Look at him. He reached back on that one.
yeah. Paris knows what that's all about. Paris knows where I'm going with that. That Stone Cold got a Surrey on down, I had a Stone Cold picnic with my kids and my second grandson. He had a 16-year-old birthday party.
Oh, that is great. That's great. That is great.
Hung out with that young man. And to lead into that, when you talk about music, all of my kids, my adult kids, were involved in music when they were in elementary school, middle school, and high school. And being in that, they didn't pursue a musical career, but my then wife, she insisted that they do find some type of instrument to play, be involved in any type of musical classes, because it helps their mind to develop a little bit more, especially in a math sort of way. So with that said, I do commend that thought, because I feel that all these kids that are involved in some type of music, they excel. They don't get left behind. So I encourage any parent to definitely get your kids involved in some type of music or instrument.
And one thing it does, it gives them some kind of excitement about school. you know, if they're any good at it, or once they start actually learning, you know, and getting praises for it, you know, regardless of what else they're doing, they get excited about that, and they want to jump up and go to school every morning. And that's one good thing about it that I found out.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to do that when I was young. We had to pay for the instrument, then had to pay for special classes and all that, and anything that had to pay outside of the house other than food just wasn't gonna happen back then. You know, I learned to play the radio, then I learned to play the computer.
You play the radio.
I play the radio. I play the radio.
Everybody took that class.
I don't know, man. I think I
play the radio class.
I think the turning of the dials is a special technique that I have, but you know, I could pass it on. I could teach it, but you know, hey.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's kind of easy. They pretty much learn it on their own. But Sherman, I know 2 questions. You've been out of town, and I saw you went to an Earth, Wind and Fire concert, and I could have swear to God that was Maurice White right there. I was like, Maurice is this. And then when you said you had the Kalimba at U of H, I'm like, oh, this guy here, man, he's Maurice White.
So guess who my alter ego was?
I see.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm not making any of this up. When I was in high school, I took French. We had to pick a French name. I was in the 10th grade. I chose Maurice. I'm not making this up. I'm not just saying this in hindsight. But here's the kicker. About 3 years later, I learned that my favorite uncle's middle name was Maurice. You know, wow. So it's been in my life the whole time. So I'm taking that part.
Well, but Maurice makes sense to me. He would have been an influence on you, Maurice Chevalier, because he had a song called "Thank Heaven for Little Girls."
Wait a minute now.
Not the little dear.
See, Scurry. You see what I had to put up with, Scurry?
I see. Hey, yes, another thing on the Dell stock situation there. First of all, Sherman, how much did you make on the Dell stock, if you could disclose that?
I can't disclose that, you know that, and I can't disclose zero, you know, because I put zero in. So I'm about to keep that to myself.
Well, I was watching the Dell stock, right, and it had jumped up to a good from 100 and something going up to 200. And I said, man, I need to buy some of this stock, buy this stock. I kept putting it off, getting sidetracked, kept putting it off. And then, all of a sudden, bam, Trump buys the stock.
And then says something good about it.
Gets a military contract now.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting. Is that a problem?
You're not talking about insider trading, are you? I mean, you can't be saying that about your president, are you?
Hey, I'm not that smart. I don't even know how to spell inside.
I'm gonna let that go too, my brother. Now, I told parents to pass this on to you, man. When I was in the airport, we went in line. The line was stretching, so they were opening other lines, and there was a cute young girl over on the other side from where I was, and she was, you know, telling people instructions and everything. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. And she said, sir. And I said, oh, she's flirting with me. Are you 75 or older? I said, what? If you're 75 or older, you can get over here and we'll get you through the line fast. I was like, so she wasn't flirting. She was calling me old. I'm going to get scary to fire her.
Yeah, he said that to me. He has waited to tell you that story. He certainly has. And when he told me about the story and he said he thought the girl was hitting on him, I said I was checking the markers for it, and I said, oh, okay, maybe advanced delusion is one of these one of these things.
Yeah, we got to have a line for delusional people.
I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I would have been in that line. Yes.
All right.
Hey guys. One more thing. Paris.
Yes, sir.
You tell Lydia. Remember, I brought up Welcome to Candyland when we talked about Trump having his
yes, you did.
His fighting was a wrestling match, WWE, whatever it's called up there on his birthday. So Lydia said no one brought that up. You and I talked about that.
Well, yeah, it did. Yeah.
It slipped your mind. I'm gonna let you get away with it.
When you elect a clown,
and
some
things, and speaking on that, Yeah, you certainly did bring that up. You did, but sometimes when my co-host or somebody is on a roll on something, and if something that I can correct later, then I'll do it so I don't interrupt the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? The rhythm of the
Yeah, you know
the
me.
show.
I like to get my props.
Oh, you gonna always get that. You gonna get your props, pops. You gonna get that. You know that because you the tops. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I'm gonna pull out all the stops to be sure you do. Okay, so
hey,
that's
guys,
good.
I enjoy your music much, Paris. I want to hear some good music out of you, Paris.
All right, man.
I really appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Mr.
your
Sir.
work.
Appreciate it. We do appreciate you. Caller, you're on.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you, sir?
Oh, man, pretty good, man. I'm just piggybacking on y'all talking about Music Month. Unfortunately, we had a couple of fallen soldiers over the weekend. I don't know if y'all heard.
Yes.
The loss of Ronald Laprade, the bass player from the Commodores.
That's right.
Passed over the weekend at 75, and Foster Silvers from the Silvers. You guys remember the Silvers family?
Yeah.
The little boy had that song Misdemeanor. 62 years old. Apparently, he had been battling cancer and metastasized prostate cancer. Man, that's 62. That's just a baby, man. That's too young to check out of here. But man, that's pretty tough. And
every day you got to be thankful for every day.
Absolutely, yes, sir. And Peebo Bryson, he suffered a stroke over the weekend. His family, he's in medical care, and his family and loved ones asking for prayers. His situation there, but on a brighter note, just wanted to also piggyback on. You guys were talking about Patti LaBelle earlier, and how much she loved to cook for people. I don't know if you guys ever heard the story back in the 60s when she was touring with the Bluebells. They were doing a show in London, and there was a then unknown piano player named Reggie Dwight who was part of their backing band when they were doing the show. And so after the show, she invited Reggie and the band, the guys, to come back to their flat, their hotel. She cooked for them, and and everything. And they took some food with them, and she said, you can take some with you as long as you promise to bring back my Tupperware, right? So needless to say, she never got the Tupperware back. So fast forward several years later, that piano player goes on to become the world famous Elton John. Yeah, and so they remained friends over the years, and there was a story where he had invited Patti to a show, I think it might have been Las Vegas or somewhere, and they had caught up backstage and was, catching up and chatting, and Patti says to him, "Hey, Reg, whatever happened to my Tupperware, punk? Where's my Tupperware, punk?" So Elton takes off a diamond ring off his finger, lays it on the piano, and he goes, "There's your Tupperware." They laughed it off and laughed it off, and it was all good afterwards. But they remained friends.
She let him stay with her for a while when he was homeless too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think before he became a part of the band, he was staying with her. He was just a struggling musician, so to speak.
Yep. Exactly.
And it's always a pleasant surprise to find out that somebody you didn't know, you just genuinely liked them, or you did know them and you knew they were good people, and to find out that in another space they had excelled at something years all around you and you didn't even know that they were big. Exactly. You find out something about somebody's success and it just makes you feel so good having rooted for somebody like that and to know that they are blessed and rewarded. And then and then what makes that story so rewarding is that it says people don't forget. He didn't. Elton John didn't forget. So the story of kindness between people is an encouraging one. Always, we need those.
I also see, he didn't equate the Tupperware as Tupperware. He equated that as substance. You helped me.
Yes,
I became this, and had I not done that, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yes.
This is what that's worth.
That's the value of storytelling. Right there, my guys. Yeah. That's the value of storytelling.
Absolutely.
Storytelling and music in schools. This is literature and music. This is where we learn how to connect through experiences that we may not have ourselves, but we don't limit ourselves to our own experiences. And so, because we can only have so many experiences in a lifetime, when you read or you hear about other stories, about stories from people who've had those kinds of experiences, it can move something in you. Absolutely. It can move you to see things differently. Absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, sir. Anything else?
Yeah, one more thing before I go, Paris and Mr. Sherman. Paris, I was going to ask you if you had a chance to hear a recent interview with Dr. Umar when he was talking about Michael Jackson's death, and maybe we can get into it later on this week because you got other calls, but he was talking about Michael Jackson's death and was theorizing whether or not Michael's then left record label Sony Music may have had something to do with his untimely death. And he laid out detail for detail, case by case, going back to date years from all the way back to when he purchased the ATV publishing, which included the Beatles catalog and several Elvis Presley's, some of his stuff, and Bruce Springsteen and Cher a whole bunch, and to when he signed a 15-year deal in '91 with Sony. I guess after they had acquired Epic Records, which was he was signed to Epic at first during that Thriller, Off the Wall, and Bad run.
That's
and then
right.
I think Sony had acquired Epic, and he went detail for detail. I don't know if you got a chance to hear it. Maybe if you get a chance, go on YouTube and listen to it. It's about a 35-minute interview, but he lays it all out there, and it's quite compelling. Kind of makes you think.
Sure. So many of those things are. When you bring them in, you attach a little of this and a little of that, but it's the part that you shave off to make the pieces appear to fit. Yeah. that's important. And Dr. Umar, absent being there or absent being in that environment, I do not embrace that kind of speculation unless the evidence is very compelling. I think more like Carl Sagan. Extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence. Okay, that's it. And so it makes for conversation, but it's speculative. Yeah, he bought the catalog. He and Paul McCartney had a falling out about it. And other things, all of those things. But him and Tommy Mottola. Yeah, Tommy Mottola.
They were trying to get him to extend the contract, and he wouldn't. And then apparently they went behind his back, and they extended it. No, so they owned when they did the deal. They bought like half of the ATV publishing. I think he got like $98 million or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to get him to come off of his personal catalog too, and he wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so on top of that, some kind of way, I can't remember all the details, some kind of way they extended it to where originally it was a 6-album deal, and he was supposed to get ownership of everything in the year 1999. But some kind of way it got extended to 2009. But then go back a little bit, him and Tommy Mottola were getting into it, and then he had the allegations, the first time around. And then they tried to tell him that, well, you kind of hot right now, so we don't feel too comfortable with promoting your next record, his last record, Invincible. And so the record label didn't promote or put any money behind it. And, basically, even though I think it sold like 4 million copies or something like that in the States, but that's like when you compare that to Off the Wall, like Thriller and Bad and all those records, by Michael Jackson standards, it was considered a flop. And so then the whole business with, he held a press conference with Al Sharpton and, was calling Tommy Mottola a devil. Tommy Mottola, by the way, Paris, I'm sure was the label head of Sony Records at that time. Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Tommy used to be a manager. Tommy used to be a manager. He had the Dr. Savannah Sherman, Dr. Savannah band. Tommy Mottola lives on the road. He lost his lady. Chez La Femme. That was his group. That was his group. That's what I was trying to say. I think it was, I think it was Kid. Right. It might have been Kid Creole and the Coconuts or something like that. Sound familiar?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So, however, I say this about all of those accusations and rumors. If somebody's got somebody's got proof where somebody's filed charges on those things, and even then, I'd have to see some evidence. Killing off somebody with whom you're making a lot of money. There are instances where that has happened, but you got to be losing a lot more than gaining in order to do that. So it could be anything is possible, but no, I don't tie those things. I don't tie cause and effect together in that case, because I haven't seen enough cause that would lead to that effect. If somebody could show me that connection, I'd do it.
Yeah, there's no evidence, empirical evidence.
Yeah.
But I guess the timing, I guess as far as like, when he was supposed to do that tour, that round of 50 shows, and he had, remember after that trial, he had left Neverland and then went overseas, lived in Bahrain for a few years, and then he got the offer to do the shows in London. He moved to Las Vegas, then to L.A., to rehearse and whatnot. And 2009 was supposed to be the year that he was supposed to get ownership of his catalog. And if you get a chance, just take a look at it.
No, I think I think I've heard much of this. I happen to know the people who managed Michael once, and this is when he was hot. Frank DeLeo and the other people. Michael Jackson was not without his strengths. Let me tell you all that. I mean, this is true. Michael Jackson had stroke. Even in the world where darker forces operate, Michael had people behind him with serious stroke. All right, and I mean with power to move things. Okay. Walter Yetnikoff was not a man to be trifled with. And I could say that having worked for him, all right, and his associated contacts, right. Michael Jackson's what he did with his health, that's another part of the story. See, if you tell one part of the story and leave out what was happening with his health, now you're missing another critical piece. How much of this, two things can be true. They might have been putting pressure on him, but he might have been under very severe psychological stress and physical duress as well. Now I am not an expert on Michael Jackson. I spent, but I can say something that not a lot of people can say. I spent 20 minutes in a room with him alone. Okay, I do. Okay. I can. And what I just picked up was his spirit. Now when we had small conversations. He was very shy, and so we'd ask a few questions. And the reason I wound up in that room with him, incidentally, was because he was under management by Ron Weisner and Freddie DeMann at the time. And
Freddie DeMann,
And they had come for Michael to have a meeting. This was the Off the Wall album, and they dropped him off at my office while they. This is all in the building on 51 West 53rd Street. It's called Black Rock, CBS, right?
Black Rock.
Yeah.
And so while they were going into the meeting, now this is interesting, you might find this interesting, Michael was kept out of the meeing, but they dropped him, but they dropped him off. And there was nothing nefarious, I would imagine. How would I know? It could be. But he was going there to meet with Walter and I guess some of the other players in the building. Don Dempsey, the person who was the president of Epic at the time. Because listen, in record companies, you can run into vice presidents and presidents going to the restroom. I mean, you just bumping into them. You may bump into them in the elevator.
Right.
So they dropped him off in the office with me, and my whole objective was not to press him, was not to say anything to him that raised any kinds of alarms, because I didn't have any kind of special information. But when you're in that situation, if you're chatty Cathy, today the guys call them chatty patties. Chatty patties. But back in the day we used to call them chatty Cathy. If you're chatty Cathy, right, you can get that. I've seen careers ended like that. So our conversation was very stilted and but it was good. He was kind, and he was nice. It was a nice thing.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
All right. He did say he liked my name. He did say that. He said that much.
Well, he did name one of his kids Paris too, but
Yeah,
we
but
ain't
I ain't
going
going that
there.
far.
We ain't going there. All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate your
All
call.
right, thanks, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Caller, you're on.
Sherman!
He's left already. Wait, let me see if I can catch him. Hold on.
Okay, let me talk
What's
to
up, man?
the other guy, the guy that goes by Sherman. Look, Sherman, first of all, since we rarely agree, let me concur, let me agree with you, give you your props. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go see your doctor, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Look, I don't care if you're 70, 80, or 90.
Or 16.
Longevity is one thing. One thing, but if you don't have your quality of life, what good is it being 80 or 90 if you're struggling inward? Your body it can't do half the things. You're just existing, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. On the outside, you might sound great and your body might look good, but if it's hurting inside, I mean, it's about quality. I don't care if you live 70, 80, or 90. So, yeah, do like Sherman just told you, and everybody tells you something. Go see a doctor. And that's what I love about talk radio. Everybody calls in with different things that they want to talk about, that they feel important. I'm still trying to learn radio, Sherman. But and someday this certain 80-year-old, I'm not going to name names, will retire, and somebody else will take over the show, and I'll find out, was it the host or the callers or a combination that makes good radio, or the guest?
I got a PhD. I got a PhD in turning the radio up and down. So if you need instruction, I can assist.
Okay. This station might need assistance. People are getting older. Young people will take over. So I hope they do like people want to. Oh, Brother Sherman, you got the experience. I'm just young and naive. You tell me what to do, Sherman. Yeah, you'll get a bunch of calls. Yeah, right. Look, Sherman, Terralico, evidently he's from your country, Austin, Texas. Tell me what the world is about now that the man, I believe he's going to divinity school, get his doctorate or master. He's a, quote, Christian, unquote, going against the evil Trump Jr. Paxton. If a dirty old guy like Paxton knows morals and blah, 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 wins against a so-called goody two-shoes, a guy that preaches the Lord, what does that say about our current stage in mankind, Paris, and
are you talking about Tallarico?
Yes, sir.
Isn't he from San Antonio?
San Antonio, but I believe he moved to his.
Don't count no move. He's from San Antonio. Don't try to throw that on me.
See, he didn't let me finish. Okay, it reminds me of this Saturday. I called the show and I told them, look, I don't want to be remembered. Okay, and they thought I was talking about I will not be remembered or I don't feel my value. No, my ego is such. I don't want to be remembered. But going back to Terralico, yeah, that's your. No, he you know the story better than I. He lives contract, politics, contracts, and lives and everything. Paxton will probably win, and if he does, what, in your opinion, and your humble opinion, will it say about the right now where we are in mankind? Are we reaching close to being conscious and turning the leaf? And anybody, well, how did you word it? one world, one voice.
One people, one planet. But to answer your question,
I know you changed it up.
No, I've been saying that since 1970. One people, one planet.
When I asked you, believe me, well, you won't believe me, but I do remember these things because I got nothing better to do. I don't have a life. So you said it, okay? No, I know in general what you're saying, but trust me on that one, Sherman. But
okay.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah. Well, I asked you a question.
As far as whether Tallarico will win or not, I'm voting for him. I'm 1,000% behind him for absolutely one reason. He's not Ken Paxton.
He's just such a good listener, ladies and gentlemen. I asked him what it would be if my guy Paxton wins. What does it say about mankind? Oh, I'm worried.
If Paxton wins, I am too. I am too. I'm looking at. I've got two condos set up. I got one in Costa Rica and one in Portugal that I'm looking at right now. So if Paxton wins, I might have to move. All right, Mike.
He's good, ladies and gentlemen. He's good. Take care.
I will say this to you, Mike. I've been looking to. You made a strong opening statement when you said that life is about its quality. As we age, we should be looking for that.
Absolutely.
And you are right. You are correct. So I'm looking for someone who has policies that improves the quality of life. The answer is in your question. Your question was, what would I do? I'd vote for. I vote based on somebody who understands what you just laid out. That the quality of living is in the quality of support you have around your life. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay, guys, appreciate that, sir. It is the Paris Eley Morning Magazine. Okay, don't get it twisted.
No, guys. You know, I love having Keith Downey, Lydia Flanagan, Kua Fayette when I get the opportunity to sit with her, and also, of course, Sherman Smith.
So we got a full bank of calls, so we're gonna have to rush some of this. Call of your own.
Good morning. How you all doing?
We here, man.
We're blessed.
We here.
Okay. Well, I'll make mine. I have maybe 3 points to make. Well, this last guy made the fourth, and I agree with what you all said. I'm a precinct here. I'm voting for Tallarico, and if that other guy wins, that means that Texas is still a red state. That's all it really means. And the people are still willing to be Trump. But what I called in and say that, Ted, you know this is
Babalola Goodrich. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I can't forget a name. You got two of my favorite elements in your name, Good and Rich.
Good and
Rich. You know I can't forget your name.
Unfortunately, I can only live up to one of them.
It's like being young, gifted, and black. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3.
That's right.
But earlier, someone was talking about Ernie McMillan, and as a member of the National Black United Front, I just wanted to remind people that he was an original member of the National Black United Front, but it was formed in New York, and he was the first Houston chair. And the current chair, Coke, and I had the opportunity to go to Dallas for the memorial service, and we did see some other people from Houston, Deloitte Partners, Omawale Lathuli, and other folks like that. They were there. That's the first point. Second point, the guy called, and this is Music Month. And for being from the great state of Chicago, my wife and I will be returning during the Juneteenth for the opening of President Obama's library.
Right.
And while there, we'll see Earth, Wind, and Fire perform at the Bull Station.
You singing with them?
United Center. Earth, Wind, and Fire will perform.
You singing with them? You background?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Because I am singing this Saturday at the weekend set up for their Juneteenth celebration.
All right.
And I'm also performing with the Houston Sun. So I'm going to give you a quick time. The Houston Sun is celebrating Juneteenth with different activities throughout. And several of them, like on the 6th and 7th, are geared toward our youth.
Okay.
And there's a there's a parade on the 13th. I'm performing, and I'm the MC on the 14th for the Gospel Fest. And then on the 19th, there's a Health, Wellness, and Freedom Award Fest. So you can call the Houston Sun or Paris. I'm going to give my number if people want more information, because I know you're out of time. My number is 832-671-1830.
Say it again.
832-671-1830.
All right, sir.
And I love you all to participate in interviews if you can. Please get the youth involved, and don't forget about the 14th. Come on out.
And don't forget. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you calling, man. Good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Okay, you too.
Yeah, I also wanted to throw in right now while we're trying to get everybody else on. Please, we're going to be patient with us. Shape Center is also in the mix of I think they're calling it the Alabama trip, the Freedom Tour. And they are accepting donations, or if you have someone who you want to participate in for the youth, contact Shape Community Center, 713-521-0641. 0641. Caller, your own.
Well, good morning. I would say the Three Stooges, but it ain't but two of them.
Ain't but two of them.
How y'all doing?
Two of us.
Yeah,
we all right.
Y'all doing all right this morning?
We doing all right. How you doing this morning?
All right. Then when the third one is down there in Washington, D.C., y'all know who he is. He down there. A convicted felon. Let me say something. Now, I remember when Barack Obama was in the White House. He did throw a basketball game on a ship or something, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did a college game on that. But have anybody ever seen somebody do what he's doing, throwing a wrestling
If
thing?
you elect a clown, you get a circus. Come on.
So what I'm saying is he actually going to have this at the White House, on the grounds at the White House?
They already built the stuff, yeah.
So what I'm saying is that, I mean, this man is pimping the people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all remember he used to be dealing with Don King and all those promoters, y'all. Am I correct?
The greatest con of our generation.
And I don't know how we allowing this mess to go on, but I guess, I mean, how's security going to be? I mean, it's got to be high. I hope they don't find no cocaine down there.
You're not going to need security because ain't nobody coming. They're giving it tickets out to soldiers because they're not selling tickets. They're giving tickets to soldiers, and they're telling them, Hexef said you can come, but you have to meet height and weight requirements, and you have to find your own way to D.C. So how many soldiers you know are going to want to put up with all that?
Well, I guess I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a big event down there, so I don't know how many are going to show. I'm sure people going to do what they want to do to get that, because he got some supporters out there. Well, but I'm just saying he's just pimping the people. That's all I can say.
You're right. And he's bragging, and he's going to say this is the greatest event of its kind that's ever been produced ever. And he's going to be right, because nobody's ever going to do this again, and nobody's ever done it before. So whatever brag he can say.
Right, and I want to say something about Michael Jackson on that last tour that he was supposed to do. I think that it was a promotion, a media stunt, because I don't think Michael and his brothers and all of them came out and said they didn't think Michael could even do that tour. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't see it happening at the end the way we saw it. So
he was getting ready for it, but you never
can tell. He was getting ready for it. But what his brothers told us that he couldn't, he wasn't even, and his health wasn't involved. His health was involved, so there's no way. But of course you're gonna get ready for it. Everybody get ready for the NBA and NFL, but that don't mean you forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
that's
get
right.
That.
You don't know if you're gonna make it. But all right, then y'all have a good one, man.
We appreciate you.
The man pimping the people, getting our money. That's all I can say, y'all. It's bad. Later.
Yeah, you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware of what's happening. We're gonna move forward. Caller, your own.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm well. Hi, Paris.
Paris just stepped away for a second. He'll be right back in. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm well. I just wanted to call in because you guys are talking about music and people like that, and But you know, I went to go see the Queens Thursday.
Did you?
Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, Stephanie Mills, and got a chance to see, sit and take a picture with Shaka Khan. That was so nice. But I wanted to, I met so many people. My mind is just like pulling out drawers, you know, like 1988, I met this one, that, you know. But there's three. I want to tell you three quick stories. Can I tell you those?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. So James Brown came here, and I said, I'm going to go see James Brown. So at the time, I was dating this really stuffy attorney, and he said, oh, you know, Debbie, I don't want to see James Brown. I said, well, you know what? I'm going to go see James Brown. You know, you can do whatever. I'm going to see James Brown. So I said, okay, let me see if I can find a ticket. So I found a ticket. So he and I went. Now, when he came to pick me up, he had on this suit with a tie and everything and all stuffy, and I had on a skirt because I knew I wanted to dance because I love to dance. Mm-hmm. So we went. James Brown came down the same aisle that we were seated, and he was just cool. You know, he was James, sparkle. He had a little pooch and everything, hair, everything, you know, was just fine. We went down, and he put on a show.
Yeah.
I mean, he put on a show. And I looked over at Jonas, and he had taken off his jacket, taken off his tie, and he was jamming.
James has that effect on people.
He said, Debbie. So a couple years later, he passed. So Jonas called me. He said, Debbie, you remember you took me to go see James Brown? I said, yes. He said, I want to thank you. He said, that was the best fun I had in a long time. I said, see? Yeah. So that was one story. So Prince came to Houston, and he was with Sheila, and I was sitting in the front, I think second row, and he came up, and Prince wasn't handsome. Prince was beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous, and his skin was just flawless. He was just everything. So he comes up out of the stage, he has roses in his hand. I'm the only black woman there now. So he comes up with these roses. So these girls in the front, oh, Prince, blah, blah, blah. You know, so Prince was handing out the roses and everything. I said, I'm surely not going to get one. Prince leaned over to me. He gave me a rose. He said, I got you, sister. Wasn't that cool?
That was cool.
And the last thing I want to say, I mean, there's so many, but I'm just going to tell you this thing. Now, you remember the Ohio players?
The players from Ohio, Sugarfoot.
Yeah, so Sugarfoot, he had health issues at the time, mm-hmm. So I really wanted to see him. I love Ohio players, you know, Getting Tight, Sweet Sticky Thing, all these songs, you know. So I said, well, I want to go see Ohio players. They said, well, you know, he may not come because he's been feeling ill. So I was like, okay, you know, I was a little disappointed, but I said, okay. Well, lo and behold, I was down the aisle at the front. They all walked down. Sugarfoot was the second one, and he had his arm on somebody's back. When he hit that stage, Sherman, whatever was going on with him, he was tearing it up. He said, you're a bad mistress in those skin tight britches. People were dancing all in the aisles. So I said all this to say that music is such medicine for people, even when they're ill.
Absolutely.
You know? And it brings joy to you and stuff, and I just want to share those couple of stories.
We appreciate it. You know we do. I'm gonna tell you this too. James Brown was the absolute first concert I ever went to, and I'll never forget it. James Brown was doing, you know, he get up on one foot and slide across the stage. He slid across to the left, and there were cords on the floor. James slid over the cords. Then he put the other foot down and slid back over the cords and back to the middle of this and never missed a beat. I was like, what? Because back then there wasn't no wireless. You had cords and everywhere. Yeah. But James was something else. And he had it was the review. It wasn't just James Brown. He had everybody behind him. He had the JVs. They weren't the JVs then. But he had female singers. What was the first one he had? She actually released a couple of records.
Vicky, you talk. Who did he have at that time? Bobby Bird's wife.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Vicky, somebody or other, and then
he had somebody else.
He he had a couple.
He had a couple.
He had a couple of them.
But that was something.
Yeah. It was gorgeous. And Gladys Knight, you guys. Gladys Knight, she looked beautiful. You know, she's thin and everything. You know, and she had one of her background singers brought her out. You know, and when she took that mic, it was Gladys Knight.
That is something else.
So anyway, I just want to share that.
Vicki Anderson, I think, was her name. One of them, and then there was a Lynn somebody.
Lynn, that's what I was thinking about. Lynn.
Yeah, there was a Lynn.
And
I can't remember what the.
Thank you. We appreciate your call.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Caller, you're on.
There is my most honorable big brother.
My brother, my man. The man who hid all the crawfish from me. Ain't invite nobody over. Yeah, you go with that.
That was 5 years ago, man, when my mama now that's about almost 10 years ago when my mama was alive.
Don't be posting no pictures of no food, man. That's 5-10 years ago. Don't be doing that.
Man, let me tell you, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you, my mama lived in South Park, so every Sunday before Memorial Day, I used to have a crawfish board, and it used to be just a family thing, and shoes, man, I made it big. I made it like a family and friends thing, man, and like, man, my mama, she had a big backyard. Lived in a cul-de-sac at South Park, so man, she made gumbo, and I bought a crawfish, and man, and we rented tables in the backyard, and then the highlight of the crawfish balls. My mama used to make those margaritas and bring them out on a tray for everybody to get one. Hey man, that was. I missed that.
You need to start posting disclaimers when you put food. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Okay, man.
What's up, man? What you got?
Oh man, not a whole lot, man. I've been trying to, I've been raising hell, man, on Facebook, man, trying to get these black folks, man, to vote for Tallarico, man, and get over this hurt of Jasmine losing, man, and realize the difference between, what's the difference between a real racist and somebody that's not racist and everything. It's amazing how some of these black folks are, upset because of Tallarico beat Jasmine, which he beat a fair and square. That now he's a racist, and they saying, well, I don't know if I'm gonna vote for him now, stuff like that. Look, people. If you sit at home, you finna lay in a Trump clone. Well, I call him Trump's Hill Spawn in Texas. This man has done every dirty thing in the book of Satan, but yet still wants everybody to put the 10 Commandments up on the wall. Ain't that crazy?
You I don't want to say it no more. I've said it twice already. You elect a clown, you get a circus. And he's just the next generation of this guy. I mean, he's probably, in my opinion, the person that the president would want to replace him, because he's got the same mindset. They've already said J.D. Vance doesn't have a chance, and Stephen Miller and all these other people they're saying don't have a chance. So, you just have to look and see, well, who does he want? He's looking for somebody who can step in and protect him, protect his family, and keep what he's got started going. And everybody's thinking, okay, it's 2026. We got past 2025. No, there were 1,090. I'm just ballparking 1,900 and some odd items in 2025 they wanted to implement. They've implemented 1,200 of them. And what that means is we're living under 2025, whether it's 2026 or not.
And you just think about Peter Fields has left and went to.
He took off. He jetted.
Just call Skate.
Argentina. He's in Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah.
One of the most racist people you can try to implement is white supremacy.
You're breaking up, X.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's white supremacist agenda there, you know, and that guy there was a walking oxymoron. You know, you're a gay racist. How in the world can you be gay and you a racist?
I could call some names, but then people would say I'm being I'm defaming some people. But I'm not gonna go there with you. Let me ask you this. I got a text from somebody who's listening who said Tallarico is a racist because he beat Crockett. Do you have a source on that, and this is not from me?
No, man, it's just a lot of black people, man, that I talk to.
Are you seeing it on Facebook or where are you seeing it?
Some inbox me on Facebook.
You're breaking up again. I can't understand you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can't you hear me now?
We got you now.
Okay,
You're
so
on
I
the
had
headset.
to get on one.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get on one girl on Facebook. You know, these black folks make all kind of excuses not to vote for somebody that at least gonna look out for them. She told me, "Oh, I don't want to vote for Tallarico because he takes APAC money." Man, who the hell don't take APAC money down there now? Everybody take APAC money, even though the good and the bad.
Well, see, the problem with the money issue is people hedge their bets. They give money to both sides.
That's what I'm saying.
So, you know, to me, that never has been a deciding factor, but I'm not going to go there.
But Sherman, these black folks make all types of excuses not to vote for the candidate that at least have their interests at heart.
I get it.
And that's what I understand. These black folks put all these excuses like they did with Kamala Harris. Oh, she wasn't black enough. Oh, she's married to a white man.
The other thing I would say to you is this: remember, when you're arguing with people on Facebook, unless you know them, you don't know what their motivations are. Sometimes they are not even who they pretend to be, and then there are people who are very non-political in fact, who like political arguments. The people who are not going to vote, no matter what you do. So. I always try to keep that in mind. I always try to keep that in mind.
We're going to have to let you go, but I'm going to say
all
this.
Right.
Argue with him on KCOH. Argue with him right here.
Come on Wednesdays, not Mondays. Wednesdays,
Bye.
I hear you, X. I do, buddy.
All right.
I do, but I got to respect the man.
Call it your own.
Man's got a job here.
Sherman, baby.
Yo.
What's happening?
What's going on? East Texas.
You got it, man. What's that?
Hey, Jeff.
Man, it ain't too much. Hey, what's going on, boss man?
All right, it's good.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah. Hey man, you were talking about the grass, Sherman.
Who?
And you know the grass.
Your grass.
The grass. You had to cut your grass.
With all them chemicals in the grass. What they call it, weed and feed, Roundup, and all that stuff you put on the grass. Yeah, and I'm guilty. I put it on mine too.
But we can't make it without the grass, man. You know, the grass, the trees.
You know that there's a law that you can have. I think it's natural. There's some kind of weeds that you can have in your lawn that your HOA can't say nothing about. And I don't know what it is because I never researched it that close. But it don't need no cutting. Yeah. You know, it brings in the butterflies and the natural insects and all that. But, you know, my wife would have a fit if I did something like that on the lawn. But, you know, the grass is okay. That's an American thing. I don't know, and I guess it's because everywhere else they have either too small of space or they have like the deserts and all that. I saw when we were in Dubai, they actually have built-in underground sprinklers to try to grow grass in certain spots. But yeah, the grass is all right for looks, but it doesn't serve any other purpose.
It's oxygen, man. Hey,
no, trees are oxygen.
A cool Fayette thing. it's good. Just take your shoes off sometime and walk in the grass. It connects you with nature.
They call it grounding.
You know,
they call it grounding.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that earlier.
Yeah.
We thought we're working in the garden. Parents brought that up a little earlier. So yeah, we okay with that. I walk on the grass too. I walk on my grass a lot. And I worked. As a matter of fact, I worked yesterday.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. I understand it.
Yeah.
Don't go burning up your grass just because you heard a black man on the radio say some stupid stuff. All right.
Oh no, I ain't gonna do that, man. I heard you talking about Sugarfoot back in the day when we were double bumping. Huh?
Oh man, looking at you.
Double bumping.
the double bump.
We were double bumping with Sugarfoot.
Let me ask you. You the music man. Who was the first? Who was the first song? Who did the bump first?
Who did bump first?
Yeah. Who made the song?
Come on now, you know this. You know this.
Oh, man, what's his name?
Hang on, What?
Yeah, with his daughter. Yeah, the daughter too. That was a singer.
She did. Yeah, I think about it. It was, but not of note. I mean, she wasn't a big singer. But think about it. Who you think? Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Hey man, I can't think his name right now, man. Oh, brother, doing the bump. Yeah, he used to come on Soul Train all the time, man. I know who you talking about, but I
JT.
can't think his name right
Did the initials JT mean anything to you?
Not Johnny Taylor.
No.
No. I'm thinking about the guy, but I can't think.
First name Joe.
Right now,
First name Joe.
Yeah, Joe Chick.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I mean, the Commodores did. The Commodores did it. There's another group that did. I think Kool and the Gang did something like that too.
Yeah.
But
Joe's went crazy though. His was off the charts. Yeah.
All right, my man.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you go.
All right, man.
Thanks for calling.
Have a good day.
Morning, caller. You're on.
My man, what's going on? Ian, what's going on, Mr. Sherman?
What's up?
Man, what's going on? How you been?
Hanging in there, man. I remember y'all back when you had the Fabulous Four with Mr. Michael Harris. I believe that was the last time I talked with you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, it was five of us.
Oh, yeah.
5 of you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's good to hear y'all again on the radio, man. And I just got one thing to say about Tellerico. I listened to the last caller, and I just ask you guys, before we just say we're going to automatically just vote for him, do your research. Do your research. Because even when it come down to Ms. Harris, when she was running for president, I don't fault her. I fault the Democratic Party. They set her up for failure. And we as a community, we got to look and see beyond the television. We got to research what's going on in our Democratic Party, man. To me, Tellerico is just an image that they're trying to portray. That's why Ms. Crockett lost. He didn't outright beat her. She didn't have the Democratic Party behind her, 100%. And that's the same thing happened to Ms. Harris. She didn't have the whole Democratic Party behind her.
So are you saying, I'm a little confused, are you saying that Tellerico is the Democratic Party and we should vote for him just because of that, or what are you saying?
I'm saying that you shouldn't vote for him just for that. We should demand that we have proper representation as a community for us.
Okay, but given the choices,
it's just like the same as yesterday. Go along to get along. Where is our true representation as a community? That's what I'm talking about, and that's what we must demand.
Okay.
We don't demand anything. We're gonna vote for Tellerico because.
Well, I would say we missed the boat on that. If our objective is to have someone different, because the established system says that if you want somebody to represent you, then you vote for that person. And what happened here is we voted for one side voted and they got outvoted. And the answer to that would have been to have more people turn out to vote, quite honestly.
Absolutely.
That at some point we have to take that responsibility seriously, and I know you do as a human being because I hear you talk about it. However, the thing is, if we wanted different results, what we really have to do is stop saying we want different results and behave like we want different results. And act on that. And act on that. Kamala lost for a very central reason. She didn't get as many votes as James Tallarico did, and there were plenty of votes perhaps left on the table. I mean, we had a good turnout, but it still wasn't enough. And sometimes, if it really depends on us, when our vote can make the difference, we have to go out and vote for what we want.
Okay?
I agree with you on that.
Right, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm riding with you on what you're saying. Absolutely.
But right now, we have a choice, and that choice is Tallarico or that other guy. And we have that choice to make. And I'm not saying go either way. I'm saying, me personally, I'm going to vote for Tallarico because I think he can handle, or he's better for my overall, well-being at this point. So and I'm not putting that all on him. I'm just saying I think he'll make. There's a difference in having him in than having the same old Paxton in.
I will add this to it, though, caller. I will say this. Look, I want somebody who's I want a Democrat. I want a Democrat who is not just going to tell me this is a fine thing for me to say because I drill down on Trump, but it comes up in the news, so I'm not singling him out. And so I point out what he's doing. But it's not going to be enough for me to hear from a politician who just keeps talking about how bad Trump is. I want to know what Tallarico is going to have a plan, and I think he has one because I heard him mention this. He's talking about bringing jobs, making it possible for young people who are coming out of school right now, because we're getting ready to lose a generation economically because of the way the L's that we're taking on the economy in the black middle class, the working middle class. We are that group of people are taking losses right now, and they've got to look forward to work, and they've got to look forward to jobs that pay them, and the opportunities for entrepreneurship is a personal matter for some people. They either decide to do it, they don't. But on the other side, when it comes to paying taxes, our young people are being burdened with debt for trying to move ahead by going to college, and now they are not able to get the jobs. And the Democrats had better speak to this economy. They had better speak to farmers. They had better speak to healthcare workers, and they had better put some more money out there in those professions and cause those and get those jobs to mean more.
All right, caller, we got to let you go. Sorry about that. We got a couple people we got to get in, and Tips from Gilbert's coming up at 11.
No, I think today no tips from Gilbert.
Today no tips from Gilbert.
Today no tips from Gilbert.
All right, caller, you're on. Good morning, good morning. Caller, you're on.
Hey, Sherman.
Hey, Bobby Ray.
Sherman, the shallow nose, man, and Paris the wise from Cliff Note. Hey,
from Cliff Note.
Harrisburg, Texas. Phil Wolf, Mike, man, hey, Paris.
Yes, sir.
The other day, you and Sherman, remember we have the Sonic Boom, and really though, Michael Jackson would say, they really don't care about us. But anyway, hey, man, so we thought because in A-Town, we thought because we were near NASA, that was just another a jet plane going by. But it could have been an asteroid. Did you, I mean, boom!
Yeah.
Could have been an alien.
But
right.
The government, and Sherman, you know we're in the rig game, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, one of you guys told me about you went to New York and you were observing a shell game He said, "Oh man, I know what a P is." And couldn't find out. Everybody that's standing around was in on the game. You said, "Sherman, I am not on the Aces." Everybody was in on it except you. So, next thing you know, your money become what? Their money. So Paris said, "Hey man, I thought you knew that. I thought you knew what was going on." And he said, "Why didn't you tell me?" Yeah, I told you, but you didn't know. You hook up on 1 and 1 is 2, but you didn't know what the number system was. You was in the 10 number system, or you was on the 8 number system or something. But anyway, so I say all that to say, yeah, what though? It's best. It's one thing to have knowledge, but with your knowledge you got to get wisdom. So, and then meditate. I'll get back with you guys though.
All right.
Man, Bobby dropped some knowledge, I tell you. It's one thing to have an education or a certification, but you got to have wisdom with it.
Getting understanding.
That is absolutely true. You know, I always call it certification. Yeah, they certify you to get out of college. You know, you don't have to learn nothing. You just have to get certified. You got to pass a test. And then when you get out, wherever you go, when they want to work with you, they'll teach you how to do the job. Mm-hmm. And then you go from there. Mm-hmm. Morning, caller, you're on.
Hey, good morning, Sherman.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
I try to keep up with you fast as I can.
I saw you out there with Earth, Wind, and Fire with the Eley, Sherman. That was awesome. That was awesome.
You don't know how awesome that was. You really don't. You know, I told Paris the event, and I'm going off on this because I'm supposed to be off here. The event was at a rock quarry. They dug the rock quarry out, and they made a stage, and it is fantastic. If you saw the whole the thing I showed of the round of the event. And that was like the third best part of it. Of course, the best part was standing there with the guys and you know getting on that bucket list thing, being on stage with Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know that was always on my bucket list. But the number 2 thing, we actually stayed on a B&B that was on the property. We had to walk about half a mile, 2 second row seats. We walked about half a mile. And I've never been at an event of a concert where they had tailgating. People would pull up and park their car and get out, pop the trunk, take out their coolers and chairs right there. And I could not believe it. I mean, you still had to walk into the concert, but the parking lots people were actually tailgating. And this wasn't just them doing it. They actually have this place set up for you to do that. They actually have of course, a concession that you can walk up and buy beer, and you can't drive with it, of course, but it was just an incredible setup, and I'd never been around anything like that. And my sister, I love her to death. She brought me and my brother out there and set us up with that. She knows how big of fans we were. So shout out to Kat Murray, she's not my baby sister. She's my favorite sister right now. Although my other sisters are going to be mad at me, but
your favorite sister right now. That's hilarious. Well, you know, I wanted to comment about a couple of things, but I understand and what you guys are saying, and you know, I work towards people voting. So that's number one. You need to vote. But 2 things can be true, okay? And we need to vote. But what I say about, and this is not toward James Tallarico, and I think that there's just a bunch of stuff out there on the internet about people not voting, wanting to vote for Tallarico because they beat Jasmine Crockett. That's just a misogynistic narrative. That's not true. You know, whatever the challenges, well, it's not whatever the challenges were. The challenges was that Jasmine Crockett was more qualified than he was on paper. It didn't translate. That he didn't win because, like y'all saying, people didn't People didn't go out and vote. So here we are. But with that, at the same time, I will say that, Sherman, we have had over and over again where the Democratic Party will have certain people that they put up, and these people aren't meeting the needs of our community. They're not meeting the needs of our, and so what I say is, to use an analogy, if you hire someone to do some work for you, and, you know, they're in the realm, you've done your research on the three folks that you want to do the work, and you select the one that you think that's going to do the best job. Well, you don't pay them before they get the work done. And what I'm saying, and they would need to present exactly what it is that they're going to do for you. What I don't see, I see him on the news. I see him talking to different people. I know what the platforms are were for Jasmine and him, and they were similar. What I don't see is him hyping up his platform in those areas that, like Paris is just talking about, like education. I see him sometimes doing that. What I mostly see him doing is responding to the rhetoric, the name calling. He's, responding to that. He's not talking about his platform specifically, which, like I said, is should help our communities, but he's not talking about that. And the reason he's not talking about it, in my opinion, is because he's trying to attract MAGA-type voters, Republican-type voters
Absolutely.
From across the aisle. So, and all I'm saying is that that's not good for us. That's not good for us either.
Yeah, we're going to have this conversation later, Lydia. You know about the time constraints here, and I'm already bumping past it.
You said Gilbert wasn't coming on.
That's never true. Live radio. But let me ask you this, and and I'm going to put this out there, and then I'm going to have to call back and maybe Friday and accept the bows and arrows you're going to shoot at me. But do you think, and this is me, that first of all, I love Jasmine Crockett in that sense. I'm not trying to put her down. I think that she's highly educated. She's very smart. She does a job. She did the job well, and I appreciate her for that.
And she still continues to do the job.
She's still doing it. She's still doing it. But do you think that her downfall was that she was too much into what we as a people need instead of putting herself out there for everybody? Because that's how they saw her. They saw her as ghetto, which is not true, and they saw her as she just wanted to do something for the black people and not everybody else. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot for that now. I'll give you time to think about how you want to shoot me down. But we gotta go.
No, Sherman, not at all, not at all. And I think that take, and I'll be clear, I think that take is one that the media portrays. We found out in speaking with her that Jasmine worked in the rural communities.
Yeah.
She worked for.
But they didn't see that.
Immigration reform because of the racism and the other things that came along with that. They didn't see that. They didn't want to see that.
They didn't want to see that.
But so my point is that we move past Jasmine now, though. Okay. I don't want to debate that. So that's not what I want to debate. What I want us to talk about is 5 months to election time and wanting the person that is there to speak truth to power now. If we can't trust him to speak truth to power now, which is his platform, literally, if he can't promote that and speak that, then how are we supposed to trust him once he gets there? I'm just saying, I think that he needs to have more of a voice and speak more to our communities, black and brown communities, and poor white. But if you are going to be political, which you running for a political office, I guess, but if we as voters, you are asking for the same kind of treatment that you got before. That's all.
This sounds like a diversity of thought conversation starring James Tallarico.
The only reason I called y'all was because I heard Paris say that.
No problem.
Yeah. But it'll be a delayed start. I got to tell you. So it's cool.
It's all right,
see, it is
you're
cool.
Good. You know you're good.
See, it is cool. But I do want to add this to the mix. That is, gas, food, healthcare, wages. A number of issues have to be addressed, and those issues set the framework for addressing our community. No matter what, of course it matters what President Trump has done, but that is documented. Now I want to hear from the people whomever is opposing Trump. What I want to hear about is more money into this economy in a way that's sustainable. And yes, it'd be nice to talk about rolling back, taking inventory and rolling back some of those things that are clearly hurting people and blocking progress. This is a large redo. This is a large renovation that we're talking about to our government, because we got to disconnect some of what's happening with 2025, and who knows how long it will take to undo that. Politics is going to have to be more than personality this year. It's got to be policy. It just absolutely has to be policy. It absolutely. So I'm on the bandwagon.
Thank you, Lydia.
I'm on the bandwagon with both of you.
You know we do.
All right.
All right.
That's so. Listen, we've got. Let's see if we've got Gilbert coming on here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And this is I am Paris. Thank you so much for being here. Let's join. See if we can join. If it's not frozen, let's see if we can join Gilbert.
And many other survivors can speak out. It takes a lot to speak out. It takes a lot, especially when the loved one that you love gets hurt. It takes a lot.
You know, I don't know what to say other than God bless you. And you know, I'm hugging the phone right now. It's such a, I don't know, I have these weird feelings. Part of me is like so sad, but on the other hand, it's so uplifting that you were able to get out, and that you sound so together. So God, I don't know how you did it. I've had other sex trafficking survivors, I've had them on my show. Dr. Nisi's one, of course. Rachel Fisher's a renowned speaker everywhere. And I really appreciate you calling in for this very difficult subject, because when there's tons of people and there's something like the Super Bowl or something like the World Cup, and it brings in all this wonderful stuff, but then there's always an element that tries to exploit what's happening. And so I don't know if it's true that they say Houston's a sex trafficking capital or one of the sex trafficking capitals, but at the end of the day, taking care of our kids, being on the lookout, those are all great things to always remind the public to do. So I so congratulate you for surviving and for calling in. It takes great bravery to do this.
And I can tell you, Gilbert, my healing was education. I have a PhD now because I did that through healing. I kept myself busy, and it's like I told Johnny Mata, keep me busy, because that's how I heal, and that's how a lot of people, I do take therapy, of course, but keeping myself busy and helping others, that is my healing. And my daughter just finished, like your daughter, her first year in college, and she was on the dean's list. So even though she was a victim of abuse, she's doing the same thing Mama did through education and healing. And we're just supposed to help and heal other survivors, and let's bring awareness, because this is a great event that's happening, and let's take care of our children and the children of those that are coming in to help and enjoy the city. Thank you very much.
Dr. Castillo, thank you for calling in. You're very brave. With your permission, I'd like to have you on the show, because I think it's a topic to talk about, and we got to just bring a little bit more awareness to this issue. So thank you for calling in, and we'll figure it all out to get you on the show.
Thank you. Take care.
Dr. Castillo, thank you so much. What a brave person that is.
Oh.
I mean, can you imagine that? And she just sounds so together, like, but I don't know. I think I would be like crushed. And I don't know if I could recover.
I think having the bravery and God helping you get out of that situation and then have the courage to speak out.
Yes.
Is just amazing.
Isn't it? I mean,
it's amazing. You think you'd want to kind of like run and hide.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
But she has such a responsibility to other people.
Right.
That this will not happen to them.
I mean, unbelievable. Well, I know we have like 2 or 3 other callers coming in, but before we bring them in, I want to make sure people know, because you're going to be on the show here this whole hour, which is, so you are doing something incredible. And I'm going to get to your background and everything in a moment, but you are doing something incredible because you have one of the biggest facilities that is essentially in the whole East End, probably one of the biggest entertainment venues in all of Houston. But at the end of the day, you are doing something that's going to be all FIFA, all soccer. Tell us a little bit about that and where the location is.
Well, it's the Bonita Grand Events, and it's 2501 Commerce Street. It's very close, about 500 feet from the soccer stadium, and we're right where all the action is. And we have about 60,000 square feet.
And just to put that
under
in context,
air conditioning.
Just to put that in context, that's bigger than a whole floor in a downtown building.
Exactly.
I mean, because that typical floor is anywhere from 25 to 40,000 square feet. So that's bigger than one whole floor. Let's keep going.
And it's air conditioning, and we have brand new indoor bathrooms, and our event space is geared at making sure that families and children have a beautiful experience. So we're going to have games for the kids. We're going to have this soccer golf that's super cool, where you don't use you use your foot and you kick the soccer ball into the hole, and it has the turf like a golf course, and that's super fun. And then we have all these inflatable games. One of them, if you ever played foosball.
Yes, I love foosball.
This is like real life foosball. Like you and I and these other people, we could be 6 people in a line in the foosball game.
Oh my God, I want to play.
Yes, I want to play.
I want to play.
And so as a team, and we've got people behind us and people in front of us on our team versus some other team, and and these lines go left and right, and you kick the ball, and it's going to be super fun.
How fun is that?
And then we have a whole it's smaller, but it's a soccer field, and people can go out there and kick the ball and have fun. We're also going to be viewing, the first game is June 11 at 2 o'clock, and it's Mexico.
Woo!
So everyone should be out. So it's and we're having this great barbecue from one of the winners of the rodeo being out there, and what we want to do is have it very affordable. The food's going to be affordable, the drinks are going to be affordable, and having just a great time, because there's such joy in the World Cup, and to be able to experience it. For us, it'll probably be the only time we see it in Houston, but for the other generations behind us, it could come around again. And also, once they get the taste of how fun the World Cup is, they could travel the world and go see it.
It's unbelievable. We got so much to talk about, but we have a caller. Was Jumpin' Jess on there? Jumpin' Jess, are you there? Representative Rosenthal, are you there?
I'm here.
Representative, how are you? Gilbert Garcia with a tip for me. I have one of my guests, Arlette Molina, who of course is doing all types of great things on the East End. But what's going on with you, and what's going on with your race?
What a question.
Hit me.
This is a great time to be alive. So, as you know, I'm the Democratic nominee for Texas Railroad Commissioner, which has nothing to do with railroads. The Railroad Commission of Texas is an agency that regulates all the oil and gas operations in our state. And now we have clarity on who my opponent is. The incumbent has been removed by a platform of racism and xenophobia, and a dude that literally said he wants to deport Native Americans. I'm not sure where he wants to deport them to, but running for the commission that regulates pipelines and plugs zombie wells and gives drilling permits. So I'm ready for a campaign where the experienced engineer, I've got 25 years of oil and gas engineering experience, all before I got into politics, and 4 terms in the state legislature now, and I am prepared for this job.
Most people don't know about the whole Railroad Commission and what it does. Of course, it has that name. People think, well, they must regulate, the railroads, et cetera, but they don't. I think what's interesting is it's always been, if you're kind of in the know, so more or less, an area where there's been so many conflicts. You want to talk a little bit about that, existing members and conflicts of interest?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question, because the 3 commissioners serve 6-year terms. One is elected every 2 years, and it's a statewide election. And there are no rules prohibiting them from taking money from the industry that they're supposed to regulate, or even making their money from the industry that they're supposed to regulate.
That's unbelievable.
So
it's unbelievable.
The agency has been fraught with conflicts of interest. The incumbent that just got taken out had interest in like 16 or 18 chemical waste management companies that he is supposed to be regulating. So it's no wonder he gets taken out. But they all make their money that way. The agency stays quiet because it's misnamed, and they just don't do the job for the people of Texas. This job should be focused on protecting the people of Texas, keeping our state a global leader in energy production, lowering our skyrocketing utility bills, improving our Texas infrastructure, our energy infrastructure. Anybody who remembers freezing in their own homes during the winter storm Uri, and we're all traumatized. Now every time there's a freeze warning, we worry if our power will go out. That was caused because of a failure of natural gas delivery. So those are the kind of issues I want to work on.
Well, here's one. I read something, so I want you to educate our listeners and viewers, et cetera, is when people hear that term, zombie wells, people don't realize that they're just poking holes in the ground, and then they're just kind of like leaving them. And some of them got contamination in them, and some of them are contaminating our water, or they're just leaving them. Talk about these zombie wells that are out there, these holes, and it seems to be a much bigger problem than people realize.
It is a huge problem. So there's 2 types. There's the orphan well, where the operator played it out and then abandoned it without properly plugging, or just disappeared. Sometimes these little fly-by-night companies will disband their small corporation to evade responsibility, and these things leak toxic chemicals into our environment. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And then the zombie wells are ones that may or may not have been plugged, but in years or decades past, long ago, one of these erupted, and then they lose containment later on. So the only church in Great Falls, Texas, which is just about maybe 40 minutes outside of Odessa, small town, one church, First Baptist Church, was basically destroyed by a zombie well that lost containment underground, flooded this 1950s structure with oily, chemically laden, noxious water, turned the parking lot into a pond. And it's the only church they have. It was on the front page news there in Great Falls on the one hand, which is that part of Texas. So it's a real issue. And in this last legislative session, the legislature that I'm a part of now gave the Railroad Commission an extra $100 million on their budget. So now they're a $500 million agency with 1,000 employees. The $100 million was specifically for the purpose to plug these zombie and orphan wells. And even though they plugged more than they ever have, they finished the year with more inventory than what they started. There's over 11,000 of these recorded, active now. There's like over 100,000 that are sort of in the queue that will be labeled as inactive or orphaned later on.
That's appalling. You know what? And the people just don't know.
It's staggering.
They don't know. I'm so glad that you brought this up. You know what? I need to get you on the show. I think it's a very interesting topic that needs to be discussed. And the whole concept of this whole Railroad Commission, we need to name it correctly so people know and they become more aware. That's one of the starts. But thank you for calling the show.
The Texas Oil and Gas Commission.
That's right. Do me a favor. Just give us your website, everything else. Let's just put it on the air here.
Okay, so find me at johnrosenthaltx.com. It's John spelled Jon. johnrosenthaltx.com. Check me out. I've got a whole platform. We worked really hard on the website. I wrote, all that stuff. And if you got questions, I'm pretty easy to find. Send us a message through the website. I will literally call you back.
Very good. We're putting your website here on the air right now. So, Representative, thank you for calling in.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, y'all.
Yes, sir. So coming back, Arlette, so let me ask you this. How did you get involved with the whole World Cup in the first place? Did you already own the building, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So how did you just say, you know what, I'm going to open it right around the World Cup?
Well, we have been planning for a while, and then it just kind of boomed. We got the World Cup. We're in Houston. We're right by the stadium, and we have 60,000 square feet under air conditioning, where everybody else in June and July are going to be out in an open field.
Sweating and hot, and they're going to look at yours and say, you know what, I'm going over there. Yeah. And is it going to cost money to get in, or how's it work?
Well, to go view the games, it's not.
Okay.
But we're going to have food and we're going to have drinks and that.
But to be in the facility.
To be in the facility for the games part of it, it's $20 for kids and $26 for adults.
You mean to play some of these games you talked about?
And you can stay there for hours. You can just have fun.
What a bargain! But keep going.
Yes, and that's what I really like, that we are very affordable compared to if you have to go to the game, and it's just astronomically out of touch. And everyone should be participating in the joy of the World Cup. It should be something that you get out of the house, you go and you celebrate it with other people who are just loving the day.
That's right. Is it one big massive room?
It is two big massive rooms.
Okay.
One's about 40,000 square feet and the other's 20,000.
And the 40,000 will be what, and what's in the 40 and what's in the 20?
Well, in the 40 is this kind of a kid kind of carnival, with the soccer, golf, and the inflatables. We'll also have a viewing area of the game. We'll have vendors there as well, and podcasts.
Oh, how great! I got to put my show there.
You absolutely
I got to do that.
To.
You know, we already have more callers. I think you're popular, so stay with me.
Okay.
We have another caller. Is it Jumpin' Jess? Oh, Congressman Al Green, is that you? Congressman Al Green, is that you?
I am Al Green. Yes, it's good to hear your voice.
Al Green, Congressman, how are you? It's Gilbert Garcia with a tip from me. I have Miss Arlette Molina, who is, of course, doing a lot of things for the World Cup on the East End, making a wonderful family venue there for everybody. And how are you doing, my friend? Because you know what? You are doing so many great things. And I saw that people are now hoping to honor you for your 50 years or however many years it's been of public service and everything that you've done. So talk to us a little bit. How are you feeling?
Well, thank you very much. I've explained to people that this is not the end. It's a new beginning.
Amen.
And we'll be doing lots of things, and I'm excited about what we'll be able to accomplish. But I do want to compliment your guest that you have today, because this World Cup is a really big deal. And we've been working to make sure that proper security is there, especially as it relates to human trafficking. That's something that we have to be concerned about. But I want to see it successful. I want to see people traverse the city who have come from distant places and not be in fear of being accosted in some way and being asked to show papers. So we've been working really hard to eliminate this show me your papers attitude that some persons seem to have. So thank you for having her on, and I compliment you. And as for me, I am just honored to thank you for all that you have done. You have been a real friend, and the many people who listen to your program. Your program has a huge listening audience. I was over at KCOH Radio, I think it was, and they brought you up on the screen, and I had a chance to see your program while I was there. So thank you for what you've done, and thank you to your audience.
Oh, thank you, Congressman. So tell us, what are some of the things that you have here that you're trying to get accomplished here between now and the end of the year?
Well, much of what I'm doing is between now and the end of the year, but then there's some things that will go beyond that. I'll just give you one that is sort of beneath the radar. I have been a big proponent of making sure the enslaved persons whose lives were sacrificed for some 240 years to make America the great country it is, that they get proper recognition. Mm-hmm. You know, we have Pearl Harbor remembrance, we have 9/11 remembrance, Holocaust remembrance, and we should have all of these. So we've got to appreciate what it meant to this country to have those lives sacrificed 240 years without a paycheck to make America the country it is. So that's something that's important to me. And as for other things, I have legislation pending related to the crypto industry that will be coming up. I have not abandoned any aspect of that. We are very much concerned about the ability to transfer huge sums of money without any accounting, any transparency, because of the consequences associated with not being able to know your clients as the banks do. They know who they're dealing with. Well, with the crypto industry, you don't always know. And of course, I'm always concerned about meme coins, which means that you're buying into nothing when you buy. You're hoping somebody else will pay more than you paid for nothing, and that way you'll make a profit by buying nothing.
You know, Congressman, that used to be called a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
You know, remember when we used to say, well, that's a Ponzi scheme, but somehow it seems to be okay.
Yes. It's been legitimized.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
It's unbelievable.
I mean, yeah. So, you know, things like that, I'm going to continue with them. And, of course, I'm involved with affordability. We've got to deal with these high gas prices. We've got to deal with food prices going up. The cost of living is going up exponentially quite regularly. So we want to deal with these things. And one of the best ways to do all of this is for people to vote. The vote is so important. We have to get out and protect the right to vote by voting. That's the best way to protect it. And there is an assault on the right to vote. So we've got to protect it. And once we do get the House and the Senate and the president that will sign off on it, we've got to sign the John Lewis Voting Rights Act into law, the George Floyd Justice in Policing into law, make sure that labor unions can register and work as such without having to get the consent of people who are antithetical to their point of view. That's called the PRO Act. And we've got to make sure that the LGBTQIA community is protected. People ought to be themselves without any fear of some sort of person intruding into their lives. Personal life is your business, not the business of people who for some reason think that the government ought not intervene unless it's something that they don't want to see occur. Everybody's personal life is their own. There's no business of the federal government. So these are some of the things that I'm going to continue to do. My agenda really hasn't changed. I'll continue to do what I've been doing. And at the end of this year, we will transition, and it'll be a new beginning for me.
Well, you know, we wish you Godspeed, because you know what? You've been a real warrior. Very few people will stand up to President Donald Trump, but you, my friend, have and have done, and so we congratulate you for the courage.
Well, I'm grateful to you and grateful to the platform that you provide. Your platform is one wherein you don't have to measure your language to the extent that you make sure that the sponsors are pleased with what you say.
That's right.
You have you've got a great platform. You know, to do what you're doing today, for example, to share time, such amount of time with about the FIFA. This is all important because whether people know it or not, this is a really big boost to our economy that we're talking about. So we want it to be a success, and for it to be a success, people have to come without fear of having to show papers, and knowing that we're going to take care of any human trafficking issues that may come up.
Well, we so appreciate you calling in, and please call in anytime, Congressman. And you know what? I want to have you on my show just to see how you're doing.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. And at some point, you and I should have lunch together and just talk about things in general.
You can count on it.
All right. Thank you, dear brother.
Thank you, Congressman. That's Congressman Al Green. Man, the guy's just a warrior. I think there's something magical in that cane that he carries because, it's just it gives him that boost. But let's come back for a second because, when I think about you now, you're such an incredible developer because that's really, yes, it's something for the families and all, but really it's a major boost, a major development for the East End and for Houston. And I understand you're now going to be building a hotel right next door also.
Yes.
Or talk about that, please.
Well, the hotel is going to be kind of fabulous. It's a 96.
Kind of fabulous. It's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be fabulous.
There you go.
It's a 96-room hotel. It's going to have a rooftop restaurant, a rooftop pool.
Wow.
And the lobby is going to be very Texas, and the rooftop bar and the pool will be very Miami.
Wow.
So it's kind of this.
And how far is it from the venue?
2 feet.
So it's right. It's really right.
It's a big complex. It's going to be the Bonita Grand Hotel.
I want a tour. I want a whole tour.
I'll give it to you today.
Are they connected?
They are.
They don't need to be connected. They're right there.
Some of them, actually, the hotel is connected to the smaller venue.
Yeah.
You can walk from one to the other. And then in the back, there's a big patio, which could be another event center. And we're going to have the pool where it has like this kind of magical top that covers the pool so that you could actually be dancing on the pool with this and it has fabulous views of downtown Houston, and it's just going to be it's so exciting for me because we bring this beauty of Houston to everyone.
And when's the target opening date?
Well, we're hoping.
Oh, look who's calling it. Let's get him on, my special guest. Let's bring him on. Ready? I'm gonna. Mr. Chris Canetti, are you there?
I'm here, Gilbert. How are you today?
Thank you for calling in. I know you're super busy, but I'm gonna practice. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go! I hope I do it better than the real thing. Chris Canetti, thank you for calling in. We are all FIFA'd up. We are all excited. This is the moment. This is the time. And I know you're very busy. I know you were going to be on our show. You'll hopefully be on next week. I know you're there doing the Lord's work with some of the FIFA brass from all over the world. I know you're there with the governor and you're in Austin and everything. But thank you for calling in. And how are you feeling now? Is this like the moment? I mean, can you even rest? Can you even sleep?
Feeling great, Gilbert, and apologize for not being there in studio with you today. I know that was the plan, but definitely had to get out to Austin to meet with the governor tonight and the president of FIFA. So that came up last minute, but things are good. We are 11 days away, I guess, if you count today. We're 10 if you don't count today, from the start of the World Cup on June 11th and the opening of the Fan Festival in East Downtown. And we're in good shape. Everything is on time, on target, on budget, and we're knocking wood right now, hoping that it can stay that way.
Well, this has been a whole combination of, or culmination of almost a decade, am I right? Tell the listeners, I mean, the World Cup doesn't just happen, and it doesn't just come to Houston. I mean, it took an enormous amount of work, an enormous amount of planning by the whole community, and you were at the forefront of that. Would you give us just a little bit about that? Because I think it's extraordinary.
Yeah, so it was determined in 2018 that the World Cup would be coming to North America, the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. However, the cities were not determined. So I started in this job in January of 2019 when we were what was called a bid committee. We were bidding to try to bring the World Cup to Houston. That process took 3.5 years.
Wow.
It started in January of 2019. COVID, of course, got in the way and slowed things down. But it was in June of 2022 when Houston won the bid and was named a World Cup host city. So we transitioned from a bid committee at that time to a host committee. So the last 4 years have been spent planning and organizing and getting ready for this moment. And it is literally hard to believe that it's upon us.
God, and when it's a bid, I mean, explain to our listeners what is FIFA looking for, because they can pick anyone in the world, and to pick Houston's extraordinary as one of the main cities. Are they looking for things? I'm just making it up because I don't even know. Are they looking for things like what's the transportation like? What's the airports like? Is there enough hotel rooms? I mean, you got to go through the logistics. So how does that all come together?
Yeah, no, you named it. I mean, a lot of different things go into this. Of course, the stadium is the main thing, and they want to make sure that the stadium is the right place to host the matches. But yeah, airports, accessibility, ground transportation, hotel network, practice facilities, you name it. It all goes into it. Ability to fund the event, and just be good partners. So there's a lot of things that went into this, and Houston deserves to be a World Cup host city. I'm glad that FIFA made the choice to select us, and we're now ready to show the world what Houston's all about.
That's incredible. And one more question, if you don't mind, which is, so when you think about it all, I know that you've done a lot for small businesses to try to get the community involved, whether it's volunteers, small business, whether it's vendors and so forth. Talk a little bit about that, because I think the footprint of the World Cup is going to be long lasting here for Houston. And so just tell us a little bit about some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have the games here and to, have these moments and all the excitement that goes with the matches. But really, at the end of the day, the reason why you bring these types of events to a city is to help the city grow and to develop and for positive things to come out of it. So, once the final whistle blows and everybody goes home and the excitement has died off, it will be important that this event has had a positive impact on Houston and created a legacy. So, one of the main things that you could measure is economic impact, and we have done a forecast that shows there will be a $1.5 billion economic impact to the region from hosting this event. Houston, of course, will gain global worldwide exposure as a host of this event in the billions of impressions as a host city. And then to your point earlier, there's so many good things that have gone on more on a local level in the community that have provided just benefits to people across Houston, and we look forward to kind of putting together the whole list of those things and promoting those as well at the end of time. But a lot of positive stuff has come out of this. In fact, a video was just released on Saturday in conjunction with the ribbon cutting of the promenade down on Main Street, and that video shows that over 200 organizations have put over $500 million into projects to help beautify and upgrade Houston.
Wow.
In preparing for the World Cup.
Wow. I want to play that video. I got to get that somehow, because I want to promote this all. This is such a huge event. And it's going to be, not to mention I love soccer, but it's such a huge event, and I so congratulate you. And I know that it's coming up, and when you think about it, when people think about the Super Bowl and how big that is, I mean, the World Cup is going to be multiple times that, and the number of viewers and things worldwide is going to be multiple of what people worldwide watch the Super Bowl. Am I right?
Oh, no doubt. So a Super Bowl draws about 125, 130 million people worldwide in terms of viewers. The games from Houston alone will have an audience of about 200 million worldwide each. So we have 7 matches in Houston, so that's an estimated worldwide audience of 1.4 billion.
God, wow. And you just say it like it ain't nothing but a thing. Some of these, I mean, and you keep saying the word B. I want to make sure that listeners know that's B with a billion, with a B. Those are staggering numbers. Well, I really thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule there Monday to call in and say good things and to our listeners and keeping us posted. And I can't wait to have you next week. So keep doing the Lord's work. And you are a real ambassador for all of Houston, and you're doing such wonderful things. So we congratulate you.
Thank you, Gilbert. I appreciate you, and maybe we do the next one from Toad's Place, if you're okay.
I'm ready! Thank you, Chris. That's, of course, the best rock and roll place ever. That's what we have in common, in addition to soccer. So I'm going to just, one more time, Chris, this is for you. Go! Chris, thank you for calling in.
All right, Gilbert. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. That was Mr. Chris Canetti. What a great guy. Yeah. I mean, I'm ready to start his campaign for president because really to be doing all this thing. I mean, it's a incredible worldwide platform. But let's come back to your hotel. When are we going to be opening up? When is the grand opening? Where are we?
Well, we're hoping for a New Year's Eve party opening.
Wow!
And because the building was
as in like 6 months, 7 months.
In 6 months, wow. 7 months. The building is already built.
Right.
We're just remodeling it.
Right.
And we're adding a couple of stories to part of it, to make it a total of four stories with the rooftop fun area.
Wow!
And
what got you? I mean, are you a developer by trade? I mean, how did you get involved in all this? How just tell us a little bit about your personal background.
Well, I do commercial real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lawyer,
mm-hmm.
and I worked in Miami for several years for several major hotels. We had the Grand Hotel, the Grand Bay Hotel, which is in Coconut Grove, and then the Deauville Hotel on Miami Beach, and on South Beach.
So you know a little bit about hotels.
I know hotels. I know events.
Yes.
And I know how good they work together, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And so my background as a commercial real estate lawyer, having dealt with all these hotels and events and construction. And so this is kind of the fun part, the building.
How great. So let me ask you, who inspired you? I mean, were your parents involved in developing or thing? I mean, how did you get the bug?
Well, my father is an architect,
mm-hmm.
and he had his own firm in Houston, and he was involved in so many projects in the East End, and with the convention center, with the airport, and, a little bit of Houston he made, and he was the first statewide regent at the University of Houston.
Oh, no kidding!
Yes, and he was the first Hispanic to ever serve on any of the boards, regent boards.
Wow.
in the state of Texas.
Wow!
So and he has just had so many accomplishments, and I kind of like every day. Oh, that building is a architectural monstrosity, he would say.
Yeah.
And then he would say, now that's a good building. And
because he knows.
Yeah. And then, you see all these different buildings that he did. And so that was...
you're glowing when you're talking about your daddy.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And so I love the construction.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was in Miami, it was kind of like you're in a movie
mm-hmm.
when you have an event center with a hotel and all these people coming in and going in and all these events going on, and it's just very joyous.
Wow. And so you bought the building how long ago?
Well, we bought the event center in 2019,
okay.
And we bought the part that was right next to it, which was the second event center and the hotel in 2024.
And so you've been working on this now. It's just the timing of the World Cup is just all a crescendo, but you've really been working on this for quite some time.
Nothing happens fast that's big.
Yeah, or that's good.
That's
right.
And there's just been a lot of planning on what would be perfect here. As we bought the event center in 2019, and we really didn't start. Well, we started remodeling it slowly,
mm-hmm.
and then in 2025, the Balloon Museum came to us and said, "This is incredible space. We'd like to open our balloon museum here," and they said, "Can you do it?" I was thinking, well, we're doing this slowly,
yeah,
and now you want us to
speed it up.
No, turbo speed.
Yeah.
Turbo speed. We got our permit on October 24. We opened November 15. We had like 50 to 100 people of all different trades at the same time working to get this going. And the experience for everybody was also a very joyous experience. Everybody was working together there to kind of do something that was a little bit impossible, but we got it done.
That's just so incredible.
Opened. And it was a beautiful event for anyone.
That is so incredible. How's it been getting ready for the whole FIFA? Are you able to work with those FIFA people? Are you talking to the host committee? I mean, are you kind of coordinating them with them?
Not really, because...
Well, they got so much going on.
They have a lot going on, and it's hard to get in. And
I understand.
And I kind of have this own little world, and I kind of think that if you build it, it will come. They will come.
There's no doubt about that.
And so, there are all these kind of super crazy great events that are going on. They talk about it starting on June 11, but on June 7, there is this huge caravan parade of cars that's going from NASA to NRG Stadium to the Shell Stadium, and they actually will end up at the Bonita Grand Events Center at 2501 Commerce, and they're going to have all these exotic cars, Teslas. I think I heard that the car parade cars were going to be there.
Wow.
And they're just going to have like a big party to celebrate everybody being there. And I think they said that the parade started off with like 50 cars and that were going to be part, and now there are like hundreds and hundreds of cars.
Oh my God!
And I think that if you're driving around and you see this big parade,
I'm joining. Me too. I'm gonna cut in.
I'm gonna join.
Heck yeah!
I don't know where they're going, but let's go find out.
Yeah, they're going someplace special, or else they wouldn't be in a line together. We already have another caller. Is there? Was it Jumpin' Jess? Jumpin' Jess. Here we go. Where are you, Jumpin' Jess?
Yes, sir. Right now I'm in front of Walmart over here on Wayside. I'm getting signatures for Roy Morales. Roy's going to run as an independent for the Congressional District 9, the old Isle Green District, but it includes Liberty County. So we have to get 500 signatures in 30 days in order to be put on the ballot. And right now everybody's frustrated with the Republicans, they're frustrated with the Democrats. And so we're going independent, and that's the way to go. There's actually 45% of the electorate is going independent. So I think a strong independent like Roy is going to win the race. But my question for you, Gilbert, is I know you're involved in the Denise Parker race. I just wanted to hear your input of what happened. I know the congressional district brought out the black voters, but what else could have been done to help Denise get out more voters?
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to paraphrase the mayor because I've been working on her campaign, et cetera, because I just love her. I think she's exactly what we need. She would always talk about, all my opponents, this goes at the beginning, they're all great people, but in reality, I have the name ID, I've done the work, everyone knows her, and she would say that I'm going to win unless the voter turnout is low. She goes, if voter turnout is low, that could beat me. And that's exactly what happened. And I don't know what it's going to take to get more people involved, because these positions that we take for granted are so important. They control all the local tax dollars. They employ lots of people. We just got to get more people motivated. And maybe something like running as an independent is the way, because maybe it's true what you're kind of alluding to, that people are frustrated with both parties. And so I understand that, but let me go back to something, because educate us one more time. To get on the ballot, you need how many signatures?
500 signatures 30 days after the election. So the election was on the 26th. So after midnight, he can start getting signatures to be put on the ballot. And so that's what we're doing. He has 30 days to get 500 verified signatures on, so he can get his name on the ballot for November.
That doesn't sound like a big hurdle, because that's essentially 20 people a day.
Right.
Because 500 is not a big number, but I guess you got to be sure. If you need 500, you probably need, I don't know, I'm making it up right now, 800 to make sure when they go through it, you got the right names, the right information for the right people, right? Because there are going to be some that are disqualified because you don't know who they are or something like that, right?
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah, they have to be in the district. And the other thing is that could not have voted in the primary or the runoff. So we have to give people that did not vote.
Oh, very much. Let's say that one more time. And by the way, I have a couple of people saying, number one, Nari, I don't know if I said your name right. I apologize. But it says, tuning in with Apple Podcast to the great show, Gilbert Andrews Garcia. Thank you so much. And I saw one right before that. It said, let's go, Houston. That was Alfred. And here's another one, Justice Trades. Go. I'm going to start something new, which is a local version of go. And I see where Natalia says that she's watching Germany versus Curacao in Houston. But let's come back to you real quick, Jumpin' Jess, because you said something very important. You have to have not voted. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir. That's a qualification. In order to sign the signature, you could not have voted in the primary or the runoff.
This time, or you mean ever?
This year.
No, just
this year.
Yeah, and they qualify for to be a verified signature on the petition for Roy. You cannot have voted in the primary or the runoff for this year.
Well, I'm going to give you a softball if you don't mind, which is tell us why you're supporting Roy.
No, Roy is. Well,
I mean, I know Roy, and he's a good man. But I want to just know what do you give us your spiel.
He's a seasoned politician. He drew a crowd over. It's kind of loud, but he worked real hard. He's run for a lot of positions, and he ran for mayor. He ran for city council, and he's been on the Harris County Board of Education. He believes in the community. He's in the community. He's in the American Legion, Knights of Columbus, the GI Forum. I mean, he is involved in the community, so with all that Bikes for Excellence, he's always helping, always contributing, and he's always encouraging people to go vote. And, the Republicans really don't show the Hispanics any respect. He was involved with them for about 15 years, and then the Democrats didn't help him. So he said, damn it, Jesse, I'm going to go independent. That's the only way to go. And of course, if you listen to a good friend, Bill King, he's the king of the independents, and he said there's going to be eventually a march or a wave of independents that are going to take over. They're so frustrated. And like what I told you, I was talking to, or some other people, when the primary vote came out, there was like 125,000 Democrats that voted more than the Republicans. And people say, oh, yeah, the Democrats came out. And then somebody gave me another perspective that could have been independents that were frustrated against the Republicans. Mm-hmm. So you got to look at the other side. There's a lot of independents out there who are frustrated with both sides that are coming out to vote. And hopefully that will make a difference when it comes November 4th.
Well, Jumpin' Jess, you're a good man. You always care about Houston. And, when you support people listen because you always do your homework. So thank you for calling in. And please call in anytime, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Gil, for everything you do and everybody you help and everybody in the community and all these candidates that you pour out your knowledge and your good wishes and your financial help support. So God bless you, Gilbert, for all you do.
Thank you, Jumpin' Jess. Jumpin' Jess, one more thing. So where are you collecting signatures? Tell us.
We're here on Wayside and Gulf Freeway, in the heart of the, Magnolia area, right here, Wayside and Gulf Freeway at the Walmart, right in front of the Walmart right now. I got me and our team of 4 that are out here working, knocking on people's cards to let us sign our petition.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jumpin' Jess, for calling in.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. There was someone that called in that says, Gilbert, say it again. All right, it says, Gilbert, please exclaim, go one more time. So I had to do that. And, of course, I got to get it in because my favorite taqueria is Taqueria Laredo. Some people say Laredo Taqueria. Some people say Taqueria Laredo. Tomato. It's all good food. And so I love those guys.
Where is it located?
It's located on Fulton. Give me that address one more time. Okay, 6904. 6904, is that what you said? There we go. It's on 6904. Oh, I'm so sorry. Irvington. Man, their carne guisada is the best. So let's come back to you real quick. And boy, can you believe it's already been an hour?
I know.
I mean, it's like I'm going to have you back because I feel like we didn't cover anything. Can I have you back?
Absolutely.
I want to have you back. Maybe what we do is have you next week again. Yeah, isn't it fun?
Yes.
So let's come back again because I really think it's amazing. But you made it sound like, well, we're going to. I mean, hearing you say about this pool and the special floral. I mean, this is like real cutting edge stuff. Who gave you all these ideas?
Well,
I mean, you know the hotel business, so you now have seen probably lots of hotels, and you're taking a little bit of this and that. But at the end of the day, it's awesome.
I'm really impressed with this next generation, maybe 2 generations down, that's coming around. They are such go-getters. They talked about this parade that's going, and it has influencers every day of the World Cup. There is going to be this parade of cars that have influencers in them, and Tesla's given them all a car. So there's going to be a parade of Tesla cars going around the city to different events, different viewing places.
Wow.
And I think we're going to be sort of like the South headquarter, because we're going to have some Tesla stations so everybody to charge up the Teslas.
Right.
But it's incredible to me, all these different young ideas. And, they were saying, we need to have soccer golf. And I'm like,
who the hell came up? I don't even know if I can say the hell. Who came up with that? What
Mike
idea.
Chabala,
Mike?
I'm like, and I'm having to look up what is soccer golf.
Yeah.
I mean, do you hit it with a putter? Yeah. No, you hit it with your foot, of course.
Yeah.
And it's going to be super cool with all this fancy lighting and things like that.
I want to play foosball.
Oh,
but
that is going to be.
I got to make
super
sure
fun.
I have like a good people on my team though, because I'm competitive. Can you believe it's already been an hour, and I feel like we hadn't even scratched the surface on what you're doing. But like Carol Burnett says, it's time to say so long. Can you believe that? Here we go. Tell everybody again while we're winding down the address and everything else. What are the hours? Just go through it all.
It's the Bonita Grand Events, 2501 Commerce Street. It's we're going to be showing all of the games. So
on big TVs all around.
On big TVs all around, and we're kind of going to create sections by continents or either by who's playing, so that you can go and support the team that you want. Right. And children will be there. They'll be watching the game, and I'm super excited about it because it's really oriented for families. At night we're going to have games, and at night we also plan to have dancing.
Wow.
After the game, have a band or a DJ and come and dance. And
I got to work on my floss because people say I'm the best floss dancer ever. At least that's what my wife says. I think it's fantastic. Are you ready for this? We're already out of time.
Well, next time you can show us some of your floss.
I'm going to do it.
Do that.
So Houston, Harris County, you got me, Gilbert Garcia, with a tip for me saying, please come in. Mr. Chris Canetti will be our guest next week because I know that he had to do the Lord's work over there in Austin. Hopefully we'll get Mike Chavala. He's an ex-Dynamo player. He's working on all this, of course, with Arlette. And Arlette, we wish you so much success with this project. You have to succeed because the East End needs you.
We're going to be just the heart of the East End.
It's going to be killer.
I want to have a gala for quinceañeras so that they keep their money for college, and we'll give scholarships and different things that will help the community and create jobs.
And create jobs. How beautiful.
Which is, it's all about bringing money to our community and uplifting everything and having a home for so many people that are doing so many events here or there. They're kind of like orphans, all these organizations. They have a place that they can call home.
It's going to be the heartbeat of the East End during all the FIFA, all the World Cup. And this is Gilbert Garcia saying we'll see you next time. And to The Answer, thank you for joining in. For all the listeners, we'll be talking much more about our new station, and we'll see you next time. All right, Houston, Harris County, this is Gilbert Garcia. A tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer.
Watch and hear my show on YouTube, Facebook, RSS, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
And follow me on social media. See you then.
All right, we are The Source. We thank you for being here with us. I'm Paris. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here with us. We do appreciate you. We do appreciate you. All right, it's noon. It's noon time here. We've got Ralph Cooper coming up in our 1 o'clock hour. Ralph Cooper and the best in sports.
Saturdays, we're taking you back with Kerry Lewis on Inside Tracks. Soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Kerry Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m. only on KCOH 1230 The Source.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental 713-738-1999.
In life's most difficult moments, comfort matters. At Lord Edward Memorial, we believe every life is a blessing worth honoring with dignity and care. With a combined 60 years of experience, our compassionate staff walks beside your family with faith, respect, and understanding. Lord Edward Memorial, serving families with grace, compassion, and heartfelt care. Visit us at 6677 Rookin Street, Houston 77074, or give us a phone call at 346-446-6675.
Force Industries Irrigation is now Aquamatic Irrigation, and Michael Von Williams is still your point of contact. Michael has over 27 years experience in the irrigation industry and is licensed and insured, but he now has additional support. So if you have a lawn sprinkler system that is no longer operating properly, or you're tired of lugging water hoses around, call Aquamatic Irrigation at 346-476-9065. If you don't have a lawn sprinkler system, give Aquamatic Irrigation a call to have your automatic lawn sprinkler system installed. Enjoy your lawn and improve your property value. In order to keep your lawn and landscaping in excellent condition, Aquamatic Irrigation also offers routine maintenance programs to check the system for leaks, proper controller settings, and sprinkler head alignment. Call Aquamatic Irrigation, your sprinkler company, 346-476-9065, or visit our website at www.aquamaticirrigation.net.
Everybody's talking about the high price of eggs. I don't know much about eggs, but I tell you this. If you want great chicken at a great price, how about Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside? Let's hear what his customers are saying. Michelle writes, Chicken Plus has some of the best fried chicken and best fried okra in the city. We stay about 45 minutes away, but the drive is definitely worth it. E. Mac says, the chicken is seasoned so well and every bite has a special crunch. It's my go-to chicken spot when I want homemade fried chicken that's always good. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Great fried chicken, okra, rice and gravy, desserts. You're going to find it all at Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside. You don't have time to make the drive? Hey, no problem. You can order Chicken Plus on DoorDash and Uber Eats. you better do what you gotta do to get your hands on some of that great fried chicken, the best fried chicken in the city. Great chicken at great prices. That's Chicken Plus. See you there.
Keep on trying till I reach my highest ground.
And now, a message from the future frequency.
Young voters, Gen Z, and millennials. If you're ready to make your voice count, here's how you make it happen. First, register to vote. It only takes a few minutes. Just look up your local election office and follow the steps for your area. Next, verify your information. Confirm your name, your address, and your polling location so nothing slows you down. And don't wait for election day. Vote early. Pick your day, pick your time, and skip the lines. Make your plan to vote early and vote to be heard. The future is live right now, and you're the frequency.
This message is powered by Diversity of Thought and proudly sponsored by 1230 KCOH, The Source.
Absolutely. Good morning. Good afternoon to you now. It's 7 minutes after the hour. It is Black Music Month. Black Music Month here in Houston. And, of course, it is also the month of Juneteenth, and there are birthdays and celebrations and graduations and other events taking place that June month, and there'll be weddings going on and all of the above. Let me say hello to Dr. Barbara Walker Green. Hello, how are you? Yes, indeed. So great having you on with the Lydia Flanagan on Monday, on Friday, and to hear you guys speak about finances and how to set budgets for yourself. These are the conversations we are going to have this election year. We are going to have to protect ourselves, our households, our health, our institutions that serve us, our educational institutions, our legal institutions, and we are going to have to do that by monitoring the agencies that serve us, and to be sure that that agency has policies that benefits the taxpayers, that benefits that benefits the people it serves. And that means, we are going to have to pay attention to what people are proposing in their public policy. But just to double back for a moment on June as Black Music Month, we're going to be talking about the music that we hear and the music that we play here, and some of you old timers, we got the right thing for you, you seasoned citizens, and we want to bring certain events to mind. One of them is a well-known event, but it is also one that gets repeated with mistakes built into it. And it is about rhythm and blues singer Johnny Ace. Johnny Ace died at age 25 on Christmas Day right here in Houston, from where we're broadcasting, not in this building, but the city of Houston. He died on Christmas Day in 1954 when he accidentally shot himself in the head backstage at the City Auditorium here. Now, the circumstances of his death are a noted part of music history, which is why we're taking the time to set a single but very important fact straight. During an intermission between sets on a bill that featured Big Mama Thornton, reports indicate that Ace was handling a .32 caliber. Accounts from witnesses suggest that the firearm discharged accidentally while it was being handled in a reckless manner backstage. Now, I put this front and center this morning about Johnny Ace. He was a terrific artist, had a large following. The story generally is told in social shorthand, which is like saying, a thing gets passed along from rumor to rumor, and sometimes things that are untrue become a part of the fundamental story. Some rumors later suggested that the incident involved a game of Russian roulette, but those present, including members of Big Mama Thornton's band, consistently maintained that it was a tragic accident resulting from unsafe firearm handling. And the story is told that as he passed it around, that he had a .22 that he liked to play with. He'd shoot at road signs as he traveled from place to place. It was a .22 pistol, we're told, and he would, before he actually took his life, he was backstage with some band members and some other people, and he was pointing the gun at them. He had even pointed it at himself, the story goes, and people were upset that he was doing that, and they say he even pointed it at his girlfriend, and she wasn't having it. And so people were chiding him about doing that. Quit playing with this gun. And his response was said to have been, "Look, this thing hurt you. I know how many rounds are in the chamber, and I know where they're located." And with that, he put it to his head and clicked it, and that was the end of it. That was it. Some say a .22 caliber. There are other stories that say he was playing with a .32 caliber revolver, and they say he did it often. Sometimes, as I said earlier, shooting at roadside signs from their car. Yeah. So we that's a story that we just thought we'd fact check for you. And you can find out more about it. He's mentioned in a book by Root Boy Slim called Johnny Ace by Dash Rip Rock as well. And those of you listening to me now, you're of an age where you probably remember him from Pledging My Love. You and I, we were youngsters at the time ourselves. So Johnny Ace was a very popular artist. He was on the Duke Peacock label. Johnny Ace was on Duke Records, and he was one of the greats. And we'll have some more vignettes and music stories for you. Here's something we want you to look at. Can you see this? This is a book. We're going to have the author joining us sometimes this week or next. I'll let you know the date. His name, can I get it? See if I can get see if we can get it situated correctly here. And yeah, okay, that's Joe McEwen. The book is called Tasty. The book is called Tasty Cakes. That's a picture of Joe and Betty Wright on the cover. Joe is he was an A&R producer, and he's long been one of our most incisive connoisseurs of black music. And he was also a co-worker for a number of years. Great guy. On the cover is Betty Wright and Joe McEwen, and it is called, the book is called Tasty Cakes. Tasty Cakes, Soul Songs, and Shining Stars. And we'll be telling you more about it, and Joe is going to join us here as well. 15 minutes after the hour. Hello, caller. You're on. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Can you take a request?
Can't play requests now on YouTube. Go ahead.
They don't care about us, Michael Jackson.
Well, just before, I guess in about 15 or 20 minutes, I'll get it on for you. Right now, yeah.
They don't care about us.
They don't care about us. Okay, all right. We are the source. I've got copyright issues if I play this music unlicensed here on YouTube. YouTube has issues with that. It's not that they have issues. They take exception to it for legal reasons, and we understand that. Hello, caller, you're on.
Good morning, Gold Leader. Oh, good afternoon, Gold
Hey,
Leader.
what's happening? Black Sunshine, what's good?
This is Black Sunshine.
Yes, sir.
In Germany, and I'm Shine.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. Okay.
Italian, in Italian, il sono negro. Hey, let me ask you something, and I will call and I will ask Ralph too. I haven't been, and excuse me if I don't know. You know, if you guys have recently discussed this or whatever, but I want to talk about something and a possible and a reckoning that I think needs to happen.
Okay.
What do you think about this boycott that the NAACP is talking about of the SEC black athletes in the SEC conference at schools in the SEC conference in the South? What do you think about that?
I don't know enough to know how well organized it is. I am not inclined to agree with it. I understand the principle, but I'm not inclined to agree with it unless I hear more details about it. Now, my inclination to push back against this is based upon the fact it seems that we are calling upon, numerically speaking, a relatively small subset of people, if I'm understanding it, namely athletes, to do a lot of heavy lifting on the premise that others will become active citizens, because no matter what we've gained, we have gained rights before, and now we're talking about losing rights. And to be quite honest, some of the rights we are losing, I can't guarantee that we would have had them, but we certainly would not have had we could have forestalled some of this. And when I make this argument, I'm talking about we want people to help get voting rights. We're asking people to make sacrifices with no guarantee that should these barriers fall, everybody else is going to participate again. Does that make any sense to you? Do you follow that reasoning? Yeah.
To me, it sounds like you described the entire civil rights movement.
Yeah. Well,
an extremely small subset of people that we were asking to sacrifice and everything.
I advanced that too. Yeah, but this time we're being very specific. However, now I do acknowledge your argument, and I'd like you to go ahead and develop that premise that you just laid out, because I too, and this is where I'm bothered by it, always 20% of the people do the work and the other 80% do something else. I mean, if we accept that as a metric for society in general, only about 20% of the people get involved to a great extent, and diehards and a small number of people always change things. But in this case, we are designating people to do that heavy lifting, and I think they have a lot at stake. But the people who will benefit from this, I'm not certain that they would they have to show an interest too in being responsible for getting us out of this mess that we currently find ourselves in. If we maintain the same civic habits we have now, if we maintain the same personal habits that we have now, if we ignore, if we fail to take advantage of opportunities, if we don't cut back on our tendency to inflict violence on one another, then no matter how successful this program is to target these people and get their money, we are going to wind, unless people get involved with their civic meetings and their the planning, or unless we get greater political participation, I'm afraid we're going to be back at the same place. And then those people, we'll have an angry generation of young people who will say, wait a minute, you're asking me to do this. I've made arrangements to buy my family. My mom has stood by me all of these years, and now she finally gets an opportunity to do something. But I'm going to go to my mom and say, Mom, you know, I appreciate all you've done for me, and I want to sacrifice that because I am truly dedicated and involved with this with this movement. Those are things that both parents and the children themselves will have the right to ask questions about. So that's my position right now. However, I want my understanding of it to grow. I just need to see something that spreads the responsibility around some. Now, you can give me your take on that, please.
Well, you know who Roland Martin is, I'm sure, but he
Sure.
did a great interview with Ambassador Andrew Young and everything. Who is still a pistol. He closed it out, man. He's
Yes.
like, I was like, what?
Yes.
But he said, it doesn't need to be, it needs to be planned out or something. But I think, what you're saying, though, it's the same roll of the dice afterwards. But the difference is now is that we have, socioeconomic power in ways that we didn't have during the civil rights movement, because we weren't even allowed to go to those schools.
Yes.
And I understand your concerns and everything, saying that you're about to do something, but Bear Bryant had USC come and play down, not because out of he was magnanimous in Alabama, because he wanted to show what the power that they needed to start getting black athletes there, and USC came down there and mollywopped them. Mm-hmm. So also too, one of the things, I really don't see what the risk is, because you can't tell me that if you go to University of Michigan instead of University of Alabama, and let me insert here, I don't like schools in the South. When I look at games like that and everything like that, mm-hmm. No, Ole Mississippi, no, I hope the blimp crashes into the place or whatever, man.
Oh.
But no, I'm serious.
Yes.
I'm dead serious. I'm not playing, man. But you can't tell me that their NIL money is going to follow them wherever they go, and you. What do you think? The University of Michigan's going to go? Nah. USC is going to go? No. No. They've got it. They've got it locked up. And the reason that they need to do this and everything, I feel I hate telling what they need to do, but one of the things about their specific situation is they're not under contract, and number two, they are at the time in their life and everything when they have this socioeconomic power, and that they might not have it after 4 years. And many other black athletes have that are a small subset. You got Muhammad Ali that sat out Vietnam War. You got the black athletes and everything at the the '68 Olympics. Mm-hmm. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Mm-hmm. We have a history of people doing this. And what you're saying about staying out or whatever, I think life will become socially untenable for them. If this all craters and everything, and then you didn't do anything.
Yeah. Interesting
So anyway.
perspective. Interesting perspective. I am uniquely unqualified to say whether it is a good or a bad idea. I just to say how it strikes how it strikes me. It's one thing, and this may be really mixed, scrambled thinking. I just think, isn't there another way, or is there another component to this? One of the things that I watched was Colin Kaepernick, and I watched people call for a simple boycott of the television broadcast stations. Now, they may have been down in some areas, but we couldn't even stay away from the games because no matter how outraged we're about how many people were outraged, claimed to be, about the treatment of Colin Kaepernick, they were back watching their favorite NFL games on Sunday. I wonder about things like that. How much... I would have to see the particulars. The concept, I do understand. I'm flexible on that. Maybe there is a way. Maybe philosophically, there is an approach that gets a certain number of people with the most clout. It's just that, and then I hear you mention 4 years. So if it's just 4 years, and I say if it's just 4 years, I mean, during that time, some people can withstand that 4 years. It depends upon how invested this structure is on bending and yielding to the will of a people who are asking for their assistance or demanding their assistance by using economic leverage.
Well, you know what you said about this is an all hands on deck moment, man. And you could maybe not, maybe we wouldn't be any different than anybody else that got lackadaisical. And I've talked about it before and everything about the way that we treat each other. I agree with you 100%. But I look at it. There was a story. I forget which university it was. They had a black athlete and everything that he said that he was going to play at this school in the South or whatever that had a Confederate flag, flying over the state. Now you can correct me. I don't know which one it was, but they changed it in 10 days, and now all of a sudden it takes so long for everything. But when it comes to our rights normally without any threat, because this is one of the options that we have or whatever, then they have to slow walk it. I think with the threat of people having to watch something that's going to end up looking like rugby on TV, I think it'll change or whatever, and I don't. Maybe someone else can call in and tell me what they have to lose. But if you're a top tier athlete and everything, and they want you in Mississippi at Ole Miss, and I have a name for it. It rhymes with Ole Miss, but I substitute a letter and everything. Yes. But if they're gonna pay you at Ole Miss, they're gonna pay you at they're gonna pay you at Penn State. If they're gonna pay you at Auburn, they're going to pay you at USC. That's you got it. And for me personally, like I said, talking about what they want to get their mothers. Maybe I can't tell anybody what they need to do, but maybe their mothers will tell them what's at stake here, because if their mother can't vote in the state or whatever, what's it all worth? I think it'll be a big reflection on people. Sure. I don't know. Don't underestimate the kids, and I think
I don't. I think the kids will be fine. I'm talking about the larger structure. I think we come up with ways sometimes for people not to share the weight. Sometimes it seems we ask our people to bear the weight. And then we sit back and judge how they did, how they performed. These people will say, it's like America. It's an extension of these sports. This may not be as true as it was when I was coming up, but we used to say people and quarterbacks and presidents had the same problem in America. The American society always likes to pick a father figure And during that time, it was more true than it is today. But someone who leads, someone we can look forward to, blaming if things go wrong. And those figures were the President of the United States in a serious analogy, and in a lighter analogy, quarterbacks on football teams. It would always be the quarterback's fault after they go out and do what they do. You know. So these kids can go out. You're asking people specifically, not people just for who. These are more than people who have the opportunity to do something. Before, we were fighting for equal opportunity for all. Now we are talking about a group of human beings who have already shown that they can excel. Now you're getting down into the personal life of somebody to say, do this. Right. And I don't say that's an unfair ask. I just say, from what I've heard about the plans, they don't seem fully developed to me. But I defer on this matter to the architects, to the people who are thinking it through. There's some names in there that I respect, and they have a history of it. But I'm just marking what my concerns will be and what I'll be looking for when I see a larger approach.
Ambassador Young said the same thing. You know, he said this can't be a press release. This has to be a plan.
Yeah. And, thank you. That's what Okay.
Okay.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. All right, I gotta run. I always appreciate
out.
It. Black sunshine.
All right. Out.
All right. Let's do this. Hello, caller. How are you?
Barry.
Yeah. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, man. I just want to call the kind of counter what Lydia was saying about Tallarico.
Okay.
Sometimes as black voters and black people in politics, we got no difference between a racist and a white racist and a white abolitionist. And I think sometimes we get caught up in black, but sometimes even in the times of slavery, there was abolitionists that was involved, that was anti-slavery and anti the brutality of black people. But this time of voting is very crucial for black people, as far as we need to know the difference between the two when we got in your face of racist and really highly immoral white people that's running the country, and also the person in Paxton. One thing, I've been following Tallarico for a long time before Jasmine Crockett got into the race, which the reason why she lost truly black people is that whoever influenced her to unseat Colin Allred to run, it was too late because Tallarico already hit the people that he wanted to hit. And I'm going to tell you why Tallarico got the real white vote and what I like about him. He is a seminarian and everything, and what he did was something that I ain't seen no other candidate do. He put all the evangelicals that are Republican and the Christian white nationalists, and he put them on blast. And he didn't put them on blast with nothing derogatory. He just put them on blast on the true believers of Jesus Christ and Christians. And what he put in their face is the fact that you call yourself a Christian, but Jesus didn't try to deport people. Jesus loved every neighbor from all over. Jesus didn't force people to have an abortion, and Jesus didn't do all these bad things as far as racism and white supremacy that the Christian white people want to put and claim that as religion. And also, Jesus did not showing other religions like Paxton and Abbott and all these folks doing with this, this anti-Muslim movement that's going on now, and talking about Sharia law, which is quietly kept. Abbott and folks like Paxton is putting a Christian version of Sharia law to the people of Texas, with the force of religion down people's throats, especially in the schools, when you're talking about putting the Ten Commandments and demanding every child to look at the Ten Commandments, when these people are doing everything that's not the Ten Commandments, especially Paxton, when he has actually committed adultery, he stole. Only thing he probably haven't done that's in the Ten Commandments that we don't know is killed somebody, and we don't know if he's done that. Well, I'm sure I can say that because he was Attorney General, and he turned down a whole lot of people that was on appeal for the death penalty and let it go. So he probably did. So I mean, now when I think about it, he's done that too. But as black people, we got to know, and then black people wants to push that out. Say, what would they do for black people? What he's gonna do for black people? But the thing is, these are the same people that complained when Barack Obama, and he did a lot of stuff for black people. But yet still, black people still complain. They did the same thing with Kamala, and what that does is that it starts to create a vote of apathy for black people. Because the fact is, then the mentality of black people is more or less like, oh well, I'm not gonna vote for this person because I don't know he's gonna do anything for black people. But you got to realize, any politician that says that he wants to do things for all people, black people are included in that, and we got to start thinking like that. It's not thinking that any politician is no politician is gonna get up there, black or white, and say that I'm gonna do stuff for black only. I mean, and that's the truth of the fact of politics and the way of life here in America. People complain about Joe Biden, Paris, and some people call him, Jim Crow Joe. Mm-hmm, and they still lean on the stuff that he did when he was a younger politician. Mm-hmm. But like I said, for Paris, ain't nobody that's for Jim Crow is going to put just going to make a black woman as his running mate, as you did with Kamala Harris. A person that really believes in Jim Crow isn't going to put a black woman as a Supreme Court justice. Mm-hmm. Versus Trump, who doesn't have a black person on his cabinet, and although he had all those bootlickers, Byron, what was the name, and the other guy, the other black guy, and the other black guy, and although although they licked his boot and shined his shoes the whole time when it was campaigning for him, it was 2024, he's not in that cabinet. So, we gotta, as far as, and then another thing, Paris, Tallarico has spoken to black people. Tallarico went to, and I guess black people's not paying attention to this. Tallarico's spoke at Prairie View A&M. Mm-hmm. Tallarico's, go ahead, Paris.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, we're going to hear a lot more about this. It is going to be a topic of conversation, and one of the things I want to do is keep reminding people what is on the table. This is going to come down for me. Okay, can we sustain a healthcare system that is as expensive as this is? Can we continue in an economy that is being seriously damaged by the tariffs? And how do we get from underneath the economic harm that has already been caused by it? Who's the person going forward? The thing that I want to know about the next person who is going to run for a Senate seat or to be a part of this government is, what are you going to do economically? And that means for me inherently, what are you going to do about spreading the wealth such as it is around? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
How do we rebuild this economy, and how do we curb those things that are excesses? If I just look at the ills, then I can see what needs to be done. So the person that I hear from that's going to win my attention is the person who says, this is what the ills are. Here's the legislation I'm proposing, not hiding behind the group, but saying, here's a bill that I'd like to put forward. I've been drafting it. I've been working on it, and it's what I'm going to do if I get that seat in the Senate, or I get that seat in Congress, or if I'm elected to the House of Representatives. So that's my position on that. So with the Jasmine Crockett thing, that happened. If we wanted a different outcome, we should have voted differently. I don't want to be smug about it. But once it's done, then we got to figure out what our next move is. And even if you don't like the person who's there, still, what is your next move? Let's say you don't like either one of them. Okay, so what are you going to do that helps solve the problem? That's it for me. Yeah.
And the thing is, I know somebody might be holding, but the thing is, and I don't know if black people are listening to him, because he talks about that all the time. He talks about the high prices. He talks about how bad health care is. He even talked about the reason why he ran for Congress in Texas in the first place. And he talked about him being a teacher, and that he had a black boy who had all kind of stuff going on in his home, and he had anger issues and stuff, and Tallarico had his student, and he was on the 3-strike rule, and this little black boy was fighting all the time right there, but he figured out that the black boy, while he was fighting, began a whole lot of stuff going on at home.
Mm-hmm.
So Tallarico got him in his class and stuff, and he paid attention and talked to him and invited him to. They had a little school lunch thing where they sat and had lunch with him and everything, and found out that this boy wasn't a bad kid. He just had issues at home. But the thing is, what also helped them was they had this program that he had in-school counseling. And so what happened was that Abbott canceled that.
Mm-hmm.
And when he canceled that, the little boy started getting in fights again, because he wasn't going to those sessions that actually was funded by the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, when that was over, the little boy got to another fight, and with 3 strikes, and he got kicked out of his school. And he said, I always haunted him, because he said, he felt like because he was upset and felt like, he failed the kid because of programs of counsel that helped him out.
Sure.
So,
listen, I'm sure I heard you and Lydia, and I'm sure I will have many hours of political listening between the two of you, and I'll be looking forward to it, and I will be looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And Tallarico's camp is going to have to make his. He's going to have to make his case. He's going to have to make his case.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll be looking for. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, buddy.
Just talk to me with this, Ferris, because I just really wanted to put that out there.
Sure.
So people to know that that we gotta get enough people in the Senate to get Trump out of there. And we get enough people in the Senate that are Democrat, that impeachment can be possible, because you need a certain number of people in the Senate to get them out of there. So that's another thing that we need to start thinking about too.
Okay, my brother. All right. We are the source. Good morning, caller. You're on.
Man, Ferris, I was almost able to finish 2 cups of coffee in that conversation.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen.
Yes, sir.
To the call. Listen, Mr. You only have one vote. Okay, and it's likewise I have one, Mr. Paris Eley has one, and the rest of the people at the sound of my voice only have one vote. I mean, you can cast it any way you want to, but we cast ours the way we want to as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you, you know, that's just my thing on that, Paris. But
go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking about Saturday Night Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there used to be a skit on there with Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, he was a brute, you know, well-stacked guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he did a skit talking about he didn't want to be a girly man. I don't know if you remember that skit, but it was somewhat funny. He had a light voice and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know, I was over the weekend. I was adding these two ideas together. One is called being politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you know, people, instead of saying the person is gay, you know, they got to say what they're homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've lived through this, Bash, right?
Oh yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, I have.
Yeah, instead of saying, yeah,
yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah, it's not anything new. Instead of saying, and this is the latest thing, you know, instead of saying, you know, I'm a black man, black female, I have to say, you know, I hear people, I'm a person of color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these type of statements, right? And you know, I equate this mentality, you know, and people are pushing back on this. I heard your contributor this morning push back, you know, and say, listen, you know, let me ask you a real question.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I was concerned though that you know that people have to apologize for their position. You know, I don't get this idea where men have to apologize for having an opinion about something, where they in this political correctness. You know, it's an advanced form of appeasement. You know, and I think it hurts our community really. You know, I think it hurts the conversation. It's make believe, and I don't know why people continue to participate at such a high level. You know, are they afraid to even have a voice on the radio?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's nobody that I know that I can think of discourages people from having an opinion. It's how you try to persuade people, I guess. I don't persuade people from having because I can really only speak to me, because everything else by definition is just me speculating on what somebody's purpose would be, right? But here's what I see, that you can't, if you say something, what I do try to say, sometimes I wind up saying, okay, if a thing is my opinion, I want it known. However, what flows from that is people can say I think sometimes and couch it as fact, and so I like to move to a place where I say, this is just for me. I say, look, my observation has been so and so and so. But people can find, you pay attention and you will find people can say some pretty outlandish things by couching it in terms like, well, yeah, in my opinion, they should all be killed, look, I don't want people to hold the station responsible for this, not them, but me. I am saying so and so and so. That doesn't make it go down any better. So it's not always. It's not always, but people don't. It's just a matter of how you phrase what you want to say. But there's nothing inherently wrong with saying, well, now, in my opinion, so and so and so, and then we can get past that. As long as you remember that's your opinion. When you state your opinion as though it's fact, then that's different. Then you got a different thing. You know, it's like people will say, in all due respect, and then they go on to say something very disrespectful. You've had that, right? You know, look, in all due respect.
I'm just trying to encourage men to speak plainly in conversation with men. You know, this performance as I say, this political correctness actually is. You ever play Mama May I? And you know, she would the game where somebody would say take 2 steps forward, and then sometimes you get closer to win. They say would take 3 steps backwards. Yeah, I think this language, you know, that I hear in men's conversation, this political correctness is almost the same mentality as DEI. You know, in a sense, you know, that's a long conversation, but it's regressive. Okay. It's a regressive conversation, okay? At least in my opinion. Here we go, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah, I know, but see, one of the things that we do in broadcasting sometimes is we try not to say the thing that is obvious. You know, it's like if you're already speaking, right? I don't mean you now, Coffee. I'm just saying, you know. So it is your opinion, but unfortunately, yeah, it has gotten down to this with so much disinformation out there. Sometimes you want a person to remind a person, well, no, wait a minute, that's not true. That is your opinion. Sometimes you do feel impelled to do that, though.
Yeah, I would try to encourage men to be men and get away from the girly man mentality, you know, and just be plain spoken among men.
However, let me ask you this, though. How are you defining manhood? What makes it girly? What makes it girly?
They asked the Supreme Court justice a similar question. You know?
Yes.
And they went on and on and on and on and on. But you know, it's simple to me, right? It's,
right. But doesn't that involve your definition of manhood? So suppose 2 men are talking, and one thinks that using a certain phrase is defamatory, and they'd rather not be dragged into a conversation where it seems as if they are approving of some slur. Would that be a case?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if a person is offended, they can defend or affirm themselves in that conversation. You don't have to, you know, go into all these multitude of words. If you're offended, say, hey, listen, that offends me, we move past it or we don't move past it. But this pretending, you know, in conversation is to me, the regressive part of it, you know, where people are just, as I say, politically correct.
I don't know. I will say, define for me the kind of conversation you talk about. It's all right if you use me as an example. I don't mind at all. You know.
What was that, Farron?
I say, and you can use me as an example because I can at least speak to myself. I don't know which conversations you would be talking about, but I think you said something important, and I'd love to hear you expound on it for a minute here or so. Look, because you used the term politically correct, and I have heard that sound. I've heard that phrase generally from hardcore conservatives who wanted approval for being incorrect. They wanted a pass, and the pass that the political establishment gave them was this: you don't have to change what you're doing to honor those people. If they take umbrage to being called the N-word, or if they take umbrage to not sitting, you don't have to open your doors just to prove to somebody else that you are not racist. You can do racist stuff. You don't have to be politically correct. So that term itself is loaded for some people.
Well, it's just not, it's a idea, and ideas are not unique to just any, in your example, political party. You know, I'm just saying, I'm talking about the ideal political correctness. It could be applied many ways, and I use it about people not being direct in their conversation.
Well,
that's my intent in this conversation. Again, people not being direct in their conversation.
But here's what I say: would you rather people state things the way that you want them stated?
Everybody's an individual. I'm saying is among men, though, it seems to be
Why is it just men? Is it just men? Or what about a man who prefers to say, look, we're going to have this conversation. If that's the only way you can understand me, I don't talk in that language. And I don't talk in that. Okay. I don't mean you and me now. I'm telling you, right? I'm going to tell you straight off the rip, right? No, I'm saying, you say, well,
it can be you and me.
This is how, okay, then that's good, though.
It can be.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's how I just came at you. What I'm trying to demonstrate, but it can be me and you having this conversation directly.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, we don't have to use examples.
Okay. So let's say it's you. Okay, so it is you and me right now. What do you consider politically correct?
Well,
or incorrect? Take it any way you want. You've got certain. You've got certain. Go ahead.
We went down a long road here, Paris. We went down a long road. But in my pushback in saying to you, Paris, you can speak to me directly, okay? That to me is what I'm demonstrating to you that I don't have a need for political correctness in this conversation.
And I don't have a need to be politically correct with you. I'm what you are doing is giving a name to how I choose to present myself. I'm giving my power to you. You want me to say, look, you know what? I've always heard people say, I don't have to have all of that. You don't have to do this. Just tell me so and so. But that ain't how I want to be. You're in a conversation with two people, then you got hopefully two different personalities, and each one is going to do what they do. That's all. That's all. I don't see it as a big thing. And you're calling something. You're giving something a name like politically correct doesn't make it. See, this is the thing. You're calling something a thing doesn't make it. It makes it a thing only for you. Only for you. Like if you angry with me and I'm angry with you, then we beefing. But if you're angry with me and I'm going on about my business, you just mad. That's all that is.
No, it is a term. I didn't make the term up.
Yeah, I know it, but the people who did, you've said something else again. The term had to come from somewhere. Those of us who were around during those days, we know where that term came from and how it infiltrated our conversation. People who, in the same way that the phrase colorblind got flipped on its head. People who say they are colorblind sometimes use that as an excuse for being blind to injustice. They are not colorblind. They are blind to injustice. So people who say politically correct means you are doing the right thing. They are all right with you behaving in an incorrect manner. See, we adopt these positions and we give ourselves these labels, I think, sometimes without thinking that other people do have a point of view, and people have the right to express themselves the way they feel that's consistent with who they claim to be.
Yeah, that's a great point, Paris. Let me end this way. An example: when I had a sales team I was over, right, and I gave a presentation one time about effectiveness versus efficiency. Okay, right, and I begged the question to people: which one would you rather be in sales? There is some merit to both positions.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But and I concede that to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I conclude it was better to be effective as a salesperson versus efficient.
Okay.
No doubt, Paris.
Okay. All right. No, that's good. I'm good with that. Okay.
All right.
You have a great day. You have a great day, Coffee. All right, my man. We are the source. Hey, boy, almost getting to the 1 o'clock hour. Hello, caller. You're on.
Yeah, man. Y'all a bunch of conspicuous. What's the word? Capitulation.
Yes,
capitulation. Sir. So, Paris,
yes, sir.
When the president of the United States, he say, "You done hurt my feelings," and I'm gonna have the Justice Department to come down and take your credit report. I mean, hey, Paris,
yes,
testimony. When I wanted to tell you, when